hello. What's up this afternoon, everyone? Welcome. Fine Tuesday to you all. Good to see ya. Stone Rain Productions. Joe Hawk, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super cheer for you. Benny Mon, welcome. Good to see ya. Mr. Munchins, Flippy Flappy, J-Bills McBooties. How is everyone doing today? This is the craziest day we've had in a while. Today was announcement day, and I promise we are going to play some Magic as we go along, but we're also going to do a bunch of talking about this announcement day 2022. So much to take in. I don't know how many of you watch. How many of you watched the announcement stream or know a little bit about it? Because there was a lot of information. Dirty Dad Chess, Handio, gift subs to Baldur and Thanos. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super cheer for you. Thank you. So the plan today a little bit different than normal. We have perhaps an all-time janky deck to play. I'm excited about this deck. So we're gonna play some Magic. We're also gonna talk about all these announcements, do a little, I don't know, discussion, see what you're thinking, see what I'm thinking. So that's the plan for today. The deck, which I wanted to mention because it's absolutely hilarious, and I have no idea how anyone 5-0'd. Yurgo Slayer, welcome to the Fishbowl. It seems like a lot of people watch it. Thank you for your subscription. Big super cheer for you. Thank you. This deck is such a meme. It is such a meme. Someone 5-0'd with this deck. This deck is Calibrated Blast combo. The idea of this deck is hilarious. If you look at our deck, it is all ungodly expensive things. Blink Moth Infusion, we're never going to cast that. It's absolutely horrible in our deck. We got 15 drops. We got 12 drops. Or 14 drops. We got 12 drops. We got Chancellor of the Draws to drain and be a 7-drop. The idea of the deck is we mulligan a little bit, try to find a Calibrated Blast or a Throes of Chaos that can cascade into Calibrated Blast, cross our fingers, hope we spin into some big things, and burn our opponent out of the game. That's it. That's all. That's the plan. That's all we're trying to do with the deck. So I have no idea how this deck 5-0'd. It reminds me a little bit of Zombie Hunt, but I figured I would play some nice quick games as we talk about these huge announcements, which I think we're going to start talking about announcements, and then we'll play Magic as we go along. So it seems like most people actually watch the stream. Announcing 2022 Magic products, there is a ton of info, like a really ridiculously huge amount of info. Some of it really exciting, some of it depending, I mean, it depends on you personally, but some of it maybe not as exciting, but there's a ton to talk about today. So before we get into that though, I will mulligan very aggressively. We had a reminders, replay YouTube, this we'd find the old streams, normal YouTube, tons of stuff coming out. We played some sweet standard budget Magic yesterday. Tomorrow we're going to against odds to play some more classes for in Modern. I think I mixed up the direction of that sentence. A reminder that our sponsor today is Card Kingdom. And if you need some magical cards, maybe from Adventures in the Forgotten Realm or a Commander Beacon or whatever, you can get them over at cardkingdom.com. Even get a free goldfish sticker. Let them know you want one in your order notes. I'll hook you up. Otherwise, merch page, tokens, t-shirts, playbats, good way to support the stream and the channel and the site. Donations, always appreciated, never required. $2 or more gets your message read on stream. And let's talk about some Magic, and then we'll get into the games. But I want to talk about this a little bit first, because we got a ridiculous amount of news. So, first off, number one, we found out that we're getting more secret layers. This is a quick and easy one. These are for sale literally now. They're already for sale. New secret layer super drop. They're secret layers. Not much to say. I miss I don't recognize Kami of the Crescent Moon in this pose. Let's just say that. That angle, not very recognizable compared to his old version. The most interesting cards by far are the Alpha Planeswalkers that not only have the old border, but have the original wording. Like, read this Teferi. Opponents can cast spells only as though they were sorceries and can attack Teferi. Although he were you, put 4 loyalty, use counters on Teferi. Any damage he suffers depletes that much loyalty. If Teferi has no loyalty, he abandons you. During your turn, you may add 1 loyalty to allow you to cast sorceries although they were instants until your next turn, or you may spend 3 loyalty to return the owner of target artifact, creature, or enchantment returns to their hand. You draw a card. Any enchantments on it were discarded. They are amazing. I absolutely love these new Planeswalkers. Some new Artist Series stuff. Carpet of Flowers, pretty good reprint. Keeps getting more and more expensive. Sliver Hive Lord, another decent reprint that gets more and more expensive. This one is maybe the funniest. Math is for Blockers is like the next level The next level lair drop, when I saw this, I was like, I don't get this. I don't understand. Like, Brazen Bar, we're sure that's a real card. Why is there a Vindictive Lich and a Frostfang and a Thrag Tusk and a Tower Shell? Like, why are these cards together? Do you know why? Do you know why these cards are together in a secret lair drop? Did you figure it out? Because it's actually kind of funny and pretty next level. I mean, Frostfang is kind of expensive. That's not the reason. It's pi. Yes, the power and toughness of the creatures is actually it is pi if you go through their numbers, which is kind of hilarious. So yeah, new secret lair drops, but whatever. We're always gonna do secret lair drops. That's not the big news. The big news is, oh my goodness, we know what's coming up next year, and it is going to be wild. First, we know Innistrad coming soon. Preview start next Thursday. Preview stream, noon Eastern time. That's the kickoff for Innistrad spoilers. There's 2 Innistrad sets in a row, but things get even crazier once we get past that. We get new promos for store championships. Those coming back are cool. But, actually, I guess we're not even to the sets yet. They saved the sets for the end. Some of the big-ish news, Pioneer Challenger decks, I think are absolutely awesome. I think they should do more of these. I wish they'd do modern ones of them. Any way to make playing constructed Magic cheaper and easier for players, I'm fully on board with that. So we'll see. My only thing I'm nervous about is we don't know the price of these yet. If they're priced like normal Challenger decks, this is a great product. It's going to be big for Pioneer, going to let people get into the format. If they're selling them for $100 or something, that would feel much, much different. So we gotta see what the price is. If you read over all this, we don't actually see the prices, although the deck lists do look pretty solid. Like, only one Brazen Borrower, but that's fine. It's not a spirit anyway. Mana base is a little bit skimpy, like no Shocklands, but still, that looks like a pretty functional Spirits deck. The Lotus Field combo deck looks very functional. Like, it's pretty much an actual tier deck that people play in the format. Mono Red Burn, basically the same. Orzhov Auras, also, you get pretty much everything outside of, like, some lands in the mana base. So really solid deck cycle if they're not ridiculously expensive, which we gotta wait and see. New Commander Collection. Commander Collection, I guess, is cool. I think I didn't really get the last one. How many of you bought Commander Collection Green? Hey, what's up, Kimberly? How are you? 4 Ragavan Precon would be, that would be amazing. Which of the lair drops are worth more than their price? There's been so much going on, I haven't been able to go through and calculate yet. So Commander Collection, good reprints, usually kind of expensive-ish, but all Commander staples, for the most part. Reanimate, Toxic Deluge, Phyrexian Arena, definitely not overrated. Goldcaller Gisa, Aphidiomancer, doesn't see that much play. The Black Soul Ring, a Liliana the Snake token, reversible to go with Aphidiomancer, and also with Liliana. So a pretty interesting product. But the big news, what we've been trying to get to, 2022 Magic. This is what I want your all's opinion on. So we know the sets for next year. Wizards has announced them, as we figured. First up, winner set, Kamigawa Neon Destiny. We're going back to Kamigawa. It is cyberpunk. It's 2,000 years in the future, and we'll see. So what do you think? Kamigawa, thumbs up, thumbs down. What is your hype level for returning to Kamigawa, for cyberpunk Kamigawa? Are you hyped for it? I think, for me, out of the standard sets, I am hyped for it. I don't think it's the standard set I'm most excited for. There's some really interesting looking standard sets, but I am excited to see Kamigawa again. I want to see Kamigawa done right. I want ninjutsu to return. There's some definite potential, I think, for a new Kamigawa set. So that's one that I'm excited about. Maybe the weirdest set of the year, Streets of New Kepna. This is something we've never seen before. This is a set that is set in a modern urban environment. It is a gangster set. It's about 5 crime families, kind of like the mafia or something, fighting against each other. Set in a modern world. I'm assuming this is going to have to mean like guns and so forth. Stuff that Magic has never ever done before. This is a set I am intrigued by. I don't know if I'd say hyped yet. I mean, I guess I'm kind of hyped, but I'm intrigued because it's so different. I'm having a hard time imagining Magic in this setting, like Magic Noir, like 1920s, 30s gangster movie Magic. I don't know. I have no idea what to think of this set. I'm excited to see how it turns out, and I'm definitely interested in it, but it's taking a bit to wrap my mind around it. It is built around 3 color pairs. Each of the families are 3 colors. Hopefully that means more Triumphs. That would be spectacular. Isn't Copernicus Ravnica? Is it? I don't know the lore. Then we get to the sets I'm most excited for next year. Dominaria United. We're returning to Dominaria again. Last time we went to Dominaria, it was one of the sweetest sets the Wizard has made in a long time when it came out. So always down to go back to Dominaria. And then the Brothers War. Urza and Mishra, one of the oldest stories in Magic from a long time ago, finally coming to fruition, finally getting a full set. So there's this really weird mixture of like new stuff, cyberpunk magic, gangster magic, along with really old traditional stuff. It feels like Wizards is like trying to make something for everyone, which is probably a good thing. Like, they're trying to keep sets for enfranchised players. Like, new players probably don't even know who Urza and Mishra are, honestly. But they're trying to, like, keep sets for the long-time enfranchised players, but also do brand new things that they've never done before. And we got a new donation. Dan Wildfire, $5 donation. I love running Ophidiomancer with Divine Visitation. Ooh, that is a combo. I would consider that a combo. so many angels or snakes. So yeah, I'm super excited for that. And then what I think is happening, we don't have these details yet because it'd be 2023, but the presumption is this Dominaria and the Brothers War is going to lead us back into the Phyrexians, and then in 2023, we're going to wrap back around to the end of the Phyrexian story. Mr. Peaches, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super cheer for you. Hey, Seth, if Wizards gets this right, the next year of Magic will be awesome. I agree. Like, I am super excited for these. However, then we have some weirder news. So those are the standard sets. We're not done yet, though. It keeps going. Unfinity, which, I mean, unsets, I'm never going to complain about unset. Unsets aren't really my thing. I like the lands, but I don't really play unset style formats. They don't come to Magic Online. So they're not really made for me in specific, but they do kind of, this one does sound kind of hilarious. It's going to be set in outer space. It's going to have outer space full art lands. It's a carnival that's like flying around in outer space, going to planet. So unset's always fine with an extra unset. So the art is good, it's funny, it's different. I love the previews and just the jokes that they put in the cards. So I am excited for it, even though I probably won't play it much. Dreg, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super cheer for you. Thank you. What is the Shockland thing? I'm actually like kind of confused by that because I heard people saying that, but I watched the entire stream and I didn't hear the Shocklands. Oh wait. Wait, plus, okay. Full art basic lands and Shocklands. I wonder if they'll be silver bordered. And then we got a new Commander Legends. This is all coming next year, all in 1 year time. Commander Legends Battle for Baldur's Gate, a D&D themed Commander Legends, doing Commander Legends stuff, bringing back the draft format, and also having the D&D theme mixed in. So that's going to be interesting. Commander Legends was really popular. I think D&D set seems to be really popular. Mashing them together is probably a good thing. So that's going to be sweet. But then we got Double Masters 2022, which this is a set probably everyone's going to yell about. Last time Double Masters was mostly people yelling about how expensive it was, but it is a place that you can reprint lots of things, and more reprints, always good. Coming next summer. Another Jumpstart coming next year, of course, not Jumpstart Historic Horizons. This is a new one, Jumpstart 2022. And then Universes Beyond. This is where things get a little controversial. So Universes Beyond, Warhammer 40k for Commander decks. We knew that was happening. Whatever. Okay, we knew about that one. Lord of the Rings. We found out it's a full set. It is a full-on set. It is a booster set. They're doing the whole thing. There's commander decks. It's like a normal set. It's even going to be legal in Modern. That's the part that makes me really nervous. Chaos, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super cheer for you. Thank you. Wizards even wrote a whole article trying to justify making it Modern legal, and their justification was more people can play it, which I think is code for we can make more money. I am okay with the Lord of the Rings set. I do not, you know me, Lord of the Rings, my favorite movie series and book series of all time. I'm not a big Lord of the Rings guy, but if they want to do a Lord of the Rings set, there is kind of a natural crossover to Magic. I'm fine with it. I really am nervous about it being legal in Modern, though. Like, I don't... that makes me very scared. That makes me very scared that they're going to break Modern with, like, Frodo or something, or the Ring equipment, and it's going to be like, because you know they got to make these cards good. They got to be. You can't take a classic IP like Lord of the Rings and make classic characters that everyone knows and just make them suck. You can't do that. So you know they got to be good. So we're going to have, like, Frodo is like Mega Ragavan. That's just like the most busted one drop in the world or whatever. And, so I'm nervous about that. I'm very nervous about that. Then we got 2 new announcements. This is where I really want your opinion. So 2 new crossovers. Number 1, Fortnite. Fortnite Secret Lair Drop. This is the one that I think has caused the most yelling so far. My issues with Fortnite is less it's non-Magic IP. The problem for me is, oh my goodness, the chat's reading too fast. Boo, flossing, boo, Omega, boo, I don't care, boo, could care less. Y'all are babies, LMFO. Okay, so here's my opinion on Fortnite. My opinion on Fortnite is, I mean, the Fortnite the game, I'm bad at it, but it is kind of fun. I haven't played it in a long time, but I have played it a little bit. As far as doing a Fortnite Secret Lair Drop, I think the important thing to point out, it is reprints. They are not new cards, which is what I want out of these Secret Lair Drops. So that's, in my book, that's fine. And I really don't explain it. You gotta explain it to me why this is such a bad thing. Because I really don't get it. We have so many Magic cards that don't look like Magic cards, thanks to Secret Lair Drops. Is having a handful of them as Fortnite things, is that actually a big deal at this point? I'm trying to figure out why everyone's so upset about Fortnite. Like, it's silly, but it's all reprints. Why has there been such a huge negative reaction to the Fortnite one? Like, what am I missing? Because it seems like this is one that a lot of people were angry about. Adults just hate things kids like. Panders to the worst kind of player. I mean, we've had our issues in the Magic community. I don't know if we can throw too many stones. I love the Magic community, and our community I think is amazing, but we've certainly had issues with the Magic community and toxicity and stuff, so I don't know if we're in a position to throw too many stones as far as being like, oh, Fortnite players are super, horrible or toxic. Probably get our own house in order a little bit more before we start, lobbing the stones at other games. Super Will, thank you for the cheer. Coral, and a new donation from Dan Wildfire, $2 donation. Frodo will probably suck, like worst legendary creature in a while, but Sam will be OP. all right, I can see that. So yeah, and then Street Fighter Secret Lair Drop, and it's weird because this one got a lot of positive reviews. And I would say that the Street Fighter one, just in terms of the mechanics of it, is worse than the Fortnite one. The Fortnite one's all reprints. The Street Fighter one is all new mechanically unique cards, re-released only in a Secret Lair Drop, which is my biggest deal with all these things. I like Street Fighter. It's nostalgic for me. I grew up playing Street Fighter, so I actually I'm okay with Street Fighter as an IP, but as far as what I'm concerned about with Secret Lairs, like, the Street Fighter one seems more problematic to me in that it's going to be unique cards. There could be supply issues. Who knows how broken they're going to be? Who knows what formats Wizard will put them in? If they're going to put Lord of the Rings in Modern, they could easily be like, hey, we're going to make these, Modern legal so more people can play with them or something. So, what do you think about Street Fighter? Well, thank you for the cheers. Street Fighter was popular when I was a child, so it's good. Fortnite was not, so it's bad. Like, I feel like it does come down to that a lot of times. Like, I feel like that is the issue. The other weird thing is, if I'm understanding this right, there's no missing set. Like, when we asked Wizards, like, why are there 2 Innistrad sets? They had said, oh, we're just pushing up the winner set. But it doesn't appear that that's actually how it's being scheduled. Like, we're just getting an extra Innistrad set. There are still 4 sets next year. Unless they're going to change how rotation works, that's going to mean we have an extra set in Standard. it's weird because they said that's not what was happening. They basically said, "Oh no, standard's not changing. We're still gonna have the same number of sets." They haven't really figured out. Maybe they're moving up rotation or something and rotating like before Dominaria or when Dominaria releases, rather than rotating in the fall. But that's a little bit awkward as well. What did what did Aaron say about rotation? So anyway, and then the Magic Netflix show apparently actually happening, which is different than the news reports from a couple days ago. But according to the Wizard stream, it's about Gideon, and it's coming out next year, the end of next year sometime. They're full steam ahead, Magic Netflix show, gonna be amazing. So yeah, it'll rotate with Dominaria. Oh! Okay, so basically they're moving up rotation. So there still will be the same amount of sets, but Standard's going to rotate next summer instead of next fall, basically. All right, that makes sense. Oh, so chat, here's what I want to know. And now we're going to play Magic, I promise. What are you most hyped for first? What is your number one thing out of this list of stuff that's coming up? New unsets, Secret Lair drops for days, Fortnites and Street Fighters, all the standard sets, Lord of the Rings sets. What single set or product? Double Masters, Baldur's Gate, more Commander Legends. What are you most hyped for? What's number one? Kamigawa, more Nick's List, Brothers, Urza, Brothers War, Pioneer Channel decks are sweet. That is a sleeper pick. A lot of Kamigawa fans. I'm actually surprised. So many people are picking Kamigawa. MTG Fortnite? Yeah. Fortnite Secret Lair drop. It's coming. It's happening. Fortnite because the anger fuels me. I think that Kamigawa is actually winning. I think for me, if I was going to pick my single number one thing, it's probably Brothers War. I would like to combine together Dominaria and Brothers War. Like, for me, those are really hyped. I'm also excited about Kamigawa, intrigued by the Gangster set. So the standard sets look really sweet overall. Now I want to know, what are you least excited about? What's the lowest tier? What's at the bottom of your list? Is there anything, or do you like all of it? Is there nothing that you're unhappy with? Is there anything that you're like, ugh? I think Wizards is going to pull a cons and change the history of the Brother War. Ooh, Fortnite, Lord of the Rings, Kamigawa. Okay, Kamigawa is a polarizing set. Some people love it, some people hate it. Street Fighter. So I see a lot of Fortnite. I feel like Fortnite is winning. Okay. I mean, I personally would go with, if I could pick a little tiny thing, it would be the legality of the Lord of the Rings set, and that being legal and modern. That was a surprise that I'm not really happy with. So that would be a pick. I think I would also pick, sadly, Street Fighter, even though I like Street Fighter, because I really dislike exclusive unique cards and Secret Lair drops. I really, really don't like it. I know Wizards, you're going to put them in the list. That's not a real thing. It's Wizards trying to scam us, trying to make it look like they're solving issues when they're really not solving issues. So that's my concern. It's not about the IP. Like, I could care less about Fortnite. Like, I'm not going to pick up a Fortnite Secret Lair drop. It's just not for me. But if they want to do it, I really don't see what the difference is between some of the other Secret Lair drops. Like, how can you look through, where are these Secret Lairs? We have this huge list of Secret Lairs. They're in here somewhere. How can you look through this list of Secret Lair drops, which is incredibly long, if we can actually, this article is so long. All right, you look through all these Secret Lair drops. You look through all this wild art that doesn't look like Magic cards. No Butt Karak on the Kami, unfortunately. You have these old border cards. They look pretty Magic-y. You got all these weird arts from different artists that don't normally do Magic stuff. Is it really a deal breaker? I mean, they're doing full-on memes. Is it really a deal breaker if a Fortnite character shows up in one of these? To me, it is not even close to a deal breaker. On the other hand, the unique cards, that really bothers me. So, well, it's going to be wild. It is going to be super, super wild. I mean, I feel like as far as, this also lines up with kind of what we've been talking about for a few weeks with the leak, quote unquote, or the rumors about Dominaria and Kamigawa. Had not seen Streets of New Caperna. I think that one might have been a miss for the rumors going around. So we'll see. But I'm hyped. I'm hyped for the next year in Magic. I think if Wizards can execute it, it's going to be a really good year. And I think, for better or worse, actually I think it would be for better, but even if I don't like some of the secret lair drops, I think they're going to bring new people into Magic. Hey, what's up, Sushi? Welcome back to the Fishbowl for the 9th month. Thank you for your subscription. Big super for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Like, I think the Fortnite thing is a great example. I don't really care about Fortnite, but the main reason I played Fortnite is some of my little brothers really like it and play it a lot. So I play Fortnite with them sometimes. I see the Fortnite secret lair drop is a way that you can introduce those people to Magic. Like, that's my thinking is, hey, here's someone that maybe doesn't really get Magic, but they're into Fortnite. This is kind of an icebreaker. Like, hey, look, we got Fortnite on our Magic cards now. Like, will you play Commander with me? It seems like it could be a positive thing as far as bringing new people into the game. So, I mean, that's something I'm excited for, even if I personally do not care about buying Fortnite Secret Lair drops. Are we going for people too young, though? I mean, what is the age of Fortnite players? I would assume in the teens, right? I mean, I guess even younger could play it. Anyway, this deck, we'll talk about more as we go along. That's why people dislike it. Players don't want those people in the game. Like, what are those people? That's the thing I'm not understanding. What are those people? Like, teenagers? like what is those people in that sentence? Like, if it's something specific, like, I don't know. If it's something specific, like, a specific person is, you know, super toxic and not going to be fun to play with, okay, I can understand that concern, but it seems silly to me to, like, not want a whole group of players of another game to play the game. Like, isn't that kind of gatekeepy and weird? Like, are Fortnite players, like, known to be particularly horrible or something? Like, I don't know. Like, is there something about Fortnite that makes it, like, I don't know, it's just a random PUBG run around shoot people up game. Is there something that makes it uniquely horrible? Magic players, I mean, I know someone said that on Twitter. They were like, oh, well, you know, Fortnite is a predatory freemium game and it has a toxic player base. And I was like, well, couldn't someone in the Fortnite community sit down and, like, write that about Magic? Like, I mean, I don't know about them licensing our Fortnite stuff to this Magic game. All I know about this Magic game is Magic Arena has a very predatory freemium model, and some of the players are pretty toxic. Like, couldn't it go the same way? But anyway. Anyway, let's talk about this deck. We talk about Fortnites and secret lairs and all that stuff as we go along. I would assume the arena economy is worse than the Fortnite economy. I'm not an expert in the Fortnite economy, but Avian, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super for you. Thank you. So this deck, we're trying to do one thing. We are trying to blast fools in Modern with Calibrated Blast. Calibrated Blast, 3 mana, flash it back for 5, reveal cards from the top of your library until you get a non-land, put the reveal card at the bottom of your library in a random order, deal damage equal to the spell's mana value to any target. So what we want to do with this deck, we got 34 lands, a ridiculous number. We let a mulligan until we find a Calibrated Blast or Throes of Chaos, and then we're hoping to cast the Calibrated Blast, hopefully spin into something that's like 12, 14, 15 mana, hit our opponent for a bunch of damage, and then flash back the Calibrated Blast, or Throes of Chaos. With our tons of lands, we can keep discarding them to keep cascading into Calibrated Blast. Basically, 2 Calibrated Blasts should always be game, and thanks to things like fetch lands and shock lands and Chancellor of the Draw straining our opponent, it's also possible that we're able to get it with 1 Calibrated Blast if we get lucky. One thing that's a little weird about this deck is, well, I guess you can get by with the Triobe. I feel like we should be able to cast the Scion a little bit easier. I can't imagine we're ever hard casting an Emrakul, but that's the deck. That's the plan. Spinning into Calibrated Blast. It reminds me of Zombie Hunt, so let's give it a shot. I'm really excited to see if this deck can work. Check out this Jakey Breach. Ooh, let me see, Crewfix. So overall, are you? Ooh, Underworld Breach combo. Some Diamond Lion. Yeah, Diamond Lion's a card that I have not seen do anything yet, although haste does make it a lot better. That's a cool idea. So overall, Are you more or less hyped about the next year in Magic, seeing today's announcement? Like, overall, is it going to be a positive or a negative for you? How does the deck do against control? I don't know. This is the first time I played the deck, so we're going to find out. Probably poorly. Very excited. Less. Okay. I think Phyrexia is coming. I really think it is. I think Phyrexia is coming in 2023. I think we're building up towards it very slowly. Hey, what's up, Matcha? How are you? Hype but a big concern. What is your main concern, Jim? I'm annoyed by Lord of the Rings set being in Modern. Yeah, that's a... I do think, as much as I think people are a little over the top with their criticisms of, like, Fortnite and stuff, I do think there are some legitimate concerns from people. And I do think that it's a fair position for someone to take. Suzumori, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big soup here for you. I do think it's fair for someone who's been a longtime Magic player to be like, I grew up playing this fantasy game. That's what I love in Magic, is this fantasy game. It's been a huge part of my life for the last, 15, 20, however many years. And for me, seeing it have Fortnite and Lord of the Rings and going off in all these other directions, that makes the game less appealing to me. I think that's a legitimate feeling that someone can have. And I actually think it's a little bit unfair for people to just, like, shout down people who have that feeling and be like, oh, well, you're just... you're an old man yelling at the clouds or whatever. Like, I think that's a legitimate feeling that people could have, and I feel bad for people who do feel that way, because I don't think that's illegitimate. I also can see the concern of just having so many different properties that I worry about what the game's going to be like. I was thinking, okay, they're doing these universes beyond. They're going to be Commander legal, but they're not really going to be legal anyplace else. Having them go in Modern does make me a little bit concerned that Modern is going to end up just this mismatch of stuff, a potpourri of random IPs that would be a little bit weird. I feel like that's a path that could get a little bit awkward. Lord of the Rings isn't too bad because it is pretty Magic adjacent, kind of like D&D. The Adventures of Forgotten Realm, people were pretty understanding with it because it's pretty overlapped with Magic. It's not way off in the far distance. Fortnite, though, that's far off in the distance. And if we start seeing some of those sets in Modern, I could see the concerns about flavor actually being an issue. We have a new donation for Rob Dirty Danchez. $10 donation. Seth, everything you said about Fortnite right now is on point. Just want to take an opportunity to tell you how much your level-headed take on things is appreciated by the community. You're a treasure, sir, well, Dirty Danchez. Thank you so much for the kind words and the donation. I appreciate them both. All right, let's find a Calibrated Blast or two. So yeah, it was an ooh. All right, we got a throws. We will keep throws. Gemstone. This hand might be good. Spin it to win it. Spin it to win it. I will still strongly fight against exclusive cards and secret lair drops. And just so it's 1,000,000% clear, it is not about the IP. If the exclusive cards were Magic cards, if the Street Fighter cards were Magic cards, I would feel exactly the same. It has literally nothing to do with the IP of the cards. It's just, I think releasing exclusive cards in lair drops is a bad idea. Like, you're time gating it, you're reducing the supply, you have potential to make them less accessible in the long run. So that's something I actually am very concerned about. But that, like I said, it has literally zero to do with what IP they're using. Kamigawa is coming, boys. It's coming. The winners, actually, Innistrad in like a month. Innistrad again a couple months after that. The next set after Innistrad, Kamigawa, Cyberpunk, 2,000 years after the original. It is going to be spectacular. It's going to be interesting at a minimum. Well, tap, land, go. Yes, so just so it's clear, Blink Above Nexus, we're not planning on casting it. It is in our deck because it's 14 mana. It is not going to actually be good. Secret Lair Goldfish, I gotta talk to Wizards. How do we get a Goldfish Secret Lair drop? Ooh, alright. You gonna try to hammer us, will ya? Well, we have a plan for that. Mountain. Go. Please don't be too fast, opponent. Come on, Calibrated Blast. Last I knew Arena wasn't up, but maybe it is now. Do you think the gangster plane will have guns? It's got to, right? It's gotta. Midnight for our opponent. Do you think that's an issue? Like, let's say it's a gangster movie. I'm picturing like Al Capone, you know, 1920s, 1930s, mafia gangsters, all that kind of stuff. It's gotta have like Tommy guns and machine guns. Turn 5 isn't too slow in Modern. It's not fast. I mean, someone 5-0'd with this deck, so it was not too slow for someone. Unfortunately, our opponent's still at 19. So we're going to need 2. I mean, so the idea is we should be able to win in like 2 turns. So he throws of Chaos, Calibrated Blast. Untap, flash back, Calibrated Blast. That should be... Oh, God. Oh, God. Are we going to have 2 turns? Probably not. Colossus Hammer. Draws a card. They need one more artifact. Oh, no. Oh, no, oh, no. Oh, dear. Do they have an artifact? Yes. We don't have anything that costs 17 mana. Unfortunately. Actually, could we have played this Draco? Was that a punt? White, blue, black. Oh, we could. Oh, no, I guess we couldn't have. Opponent hits us for $1 billion. Oh, no. Okay. Blast Zone. Pass the turn. Futurama, Donbot, Secret Lair, Gangsters. I mean, we're pretty close to that happening. We're close. Oh, jeez. Opponent just gets another hammer. This means we're dead anyway, right? Opponent. We have a new donation from Chibadino. $5 donation. I like that Wizards is trying out some new stuff. I'm excited about all the standard sets. However, the unique cards really hurts, and I strongly dislike it, even though Street Fighter... even though Street Fighter screams nostalgia for me. Yeah, I think that sounds right. The unique cards is what really gets me, too. Opponent is down to 15. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, there's hope. Opponent put themselves at 15. Come on. Come on. We're not dead yet. We got a shot. Can we Jake him out? We got to spin it to win it. Oh, we need an Emrakul. We need a Auto Shishian Worm. Well, here it is. Gemstone Caverns. Come on. Come on. Big numbers. Throes of Chaos. Into Calibrated Blast. 15? Chancellor of the Dross. Our weakest one. Is Magic finished for good? Why would Magic be finished for good? Because of the product announcement? I definitely don't think the product announcement means it's finished for good. Now, bring in Blast Zones. Go down. Gemstone Caverns. Beseiju. Bring in the Sweeper. And I guess a bit of removal. Try it like that. Magic reports best year ever. Is Magic finished for good? I mean, I will say that I don't think just going by Hasbro's profits is a very good judge of how the game is doing. Wow, 1 land with our 31 land deck. So I don't think just going by profits is necessarily a realistic way of viewing it. All right, Revealed Chancellor hits ya. Well, come on, Calibrated Blast. Come on. Big numbers this time, please. Blood Crypt, tap, go. I don't like these Pioneer Challenger decks. They're already cheap. I mean, they're not... Are they not good value? Everything happened so late, and then I got to the stream. I didn't have time to do some of that stuff. I never played Pioneer, but the new Challenger decks look like a good starting point. Can you explain Lotus Field combo? Ooh, yes I can. Let's see. Bloodstained Mire. Opponent's at 16. Ugh, all right. Bloodstained Mire. Come on. We gotta hit something big this time. Please. Please. Let me pull up the deck list and I will explain it to you. I think it's definitely awesome that they're doing... I just hope they're a reasonable price, but I think it's awesome that they're doing it. So what Lotus Field combo wants to do? Lotus Field combo, the idea is you play 2 lands, you play a Lotus Field sacking those lands, and then your goal is to use things like Hidden Stirrings and Pour Over Pages and Vizier of Tumbling Sands to keep untapping Lotus Field, kind of turning into a ritual. Since Lotus Field taps for 3 mana, you can use Hidden Stirrings, for example, to untap it for 2 mana. Ideally, you get 2 Lotus Fields, maybe with the help of Thespian Stage, and then you do some crazy things where you like tap both of them for 6 mana, untap both of them with Hidden Stirrings for 2 mana, so you're plus 4 mana, and then you tap them again, then you like Pour Over Pages to draw some cards and untap one of them, so you're making it really cheap, and you just keep going through this. It turns a lot of your spells into free spells. Eventually, after going through it a whole bunch of times and generating a ton of mana and drawing your entire deck, usually you're going to Fae of Wishes to win with Approach of the Second Sun, primarily. You can also like Fae of Wishes to draw off your deck with Peer into the Abyss, but that's the main idea, is you make a ridiculous amount of mana, draw most of your deck, tutor up your Approach of the Second Sun. From the sideboard, cast it, draw a few more cards, cast it again with a game on the spot. So it's very similar to like Storm combo. It's about as close as a Pioneer deck gets to Storm comboing. Anyone know when Arena's going to be up? I think it could be a bit. Last I heard, they said that the downtime was going to be 8 hours, and it started 4.5 hours ago. But they did say that they thought it would come up earlier than that, and you'd be able to play towards the end of the downtime. Well, get a Triome. All right. Well, this is it. We got to hit a 14, or we're going to be dead again. Opponent goes to combat. Hits us. Come on, Calibrated Blast. Well, Radiant Fountain. Big number. Emrakul, Worm. What do we hit? Chancellor of the Dross again. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Oh dear. I wonder if Chancellor of the Dross is not worth it. That's the second time that this combo's been fizzled by Chancellor of the Dross. About it. Am I the only one who finds Arena to resemble a gimmicky cell phone game that focuses on getting you to participate in in-game purchases? No, I mean its economic system is very much a cheesy cell phone game. Opponent apparently has lethal. Oh, wait. Drawing for lethal. Plays a land. I mean, even if we untap, we have to draw another Calibrated Blast or the Cascade spell. Throws to have a shot. Opponent thinking very hard. Plays a Ginger Brew. Passes. Slain a Draco. Sign a Draco, I don't think... Yeah, just chumps. I don't even think it keeps us alive. Well, we will play it. Pass the turn. Oh, our Blast did not spin very well. The updated list for Blast. Ooh. Well, I gotta say... Getting rid of Sign a Draco feels good right about now. Alright, so that is lethal then. Yeah, Sign a Draco has actually been a huge negative. Cyanodraco or not Cyanodraco, Chancellor of the Dross just keeps killing us. Like it keeps fizzling our combo. Like we would have won both of those games if we were not playing Chancellor of the Dross. But because we were playing, we'll play a couple more games, and then I think we're going to take out Chancellor of the Dross because Chancellor of the Dross seems like it's too fizzly. I love everything about next year, especially the fact that gatekeepers are seething. Modern Challenger boggles. So, what price are you expecting for the Pioneer Challenger decks? Do you think they're going to be the same price? Like $30? Yeah, Challenger is bad. Have you chosen your viewer submitted deck yet? I have not chosen my viewer submitted deck yet. I will choose one tomorrow. I mean, I'm hoping for 32. I wouldn't be surprised if it was a little bit more expensive. If Wizards was... they can probably justify it in their minds based on the fact that... based on the fact that it's Pioneer. I would love to see it for Modern. The problem with Modern is... it would probably be either the decks will be really bad or the decks will be really expensive. I don't think there's a... Bosh. Huh. We got to put 2 cards to the bottom. All right. Blast into blast. That's the plan. Please don't hit the Chancellors. Spoilers start a week from Thursday. September 2nd is the actual start of Innistrad spoilers. MTG Misplays. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big subscription for you. Thank you. Well, why would Modern be more expensive? Wizards has no knowledge of the secondary market. No, that's not exactly right. Wizards doesn't talk about the secondary market, but the secondary market is the foundation of everything in the deck, or everything that they do. So, Radiant Fountain. So yeah, it's they definitely care a lot about it. Well, let's Calibrated Blast. See if we can actually hit a big number for once. We hit a... alright, that's a 15. That's good. Pass the turn. Yeah, put back the Chancellor, because I think the way we win is casting Calibrated Blast twice, and I wanted to make sure we had 5 lands to cast it twice. Did you see MTG stream earlier today, Seth? What are your thoughts? Yeah, we talked about it a lot at the start of the stream, so... definitely excited for most of the standard sets. Really excited for Dominarian Brothers War. Like, those sets are going to be really sweet, I think. Also excited for Kamigawa. Kamigawa isn't... boy, our opponent's done nothing. Kamigawa isn't one of my favorite sets. Although, I do think a return will be... it'll be interesting to see what it looks like when we return to it. So I am excited for it. I hope ninjutsu comes back. That's the one thing I want out of Kamigawa is ninjutsu. The Secret Lairs, kind of meh, I guess. They're going to do them. It doesn't matter, really, if we like them or not. And hopefully they bring in new players, and hopefully they stop printing exclusive cards in them. But, all right. Well, unless we get ridiculously unlucky, this should win us the game. I'm surprised our opponent did nothing. Calibrated Blast. We can even hit a Chancellor this time. Oh my god, we hit Throes of Chaos. Oh no! Oh, we are low rolling so much. Well, now we're gonna lose at 1 life. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Okay, well now we gotta draw another one. And we gotta draw it like now-ish. Opponent gets our Plague things now. That was so brutal. I have a deck list I would like to submit for Commander Clash. I forgot how. Hammer of Bogarden, sure. We draw a Blink Moth Infusion and scoop it up. Huh. These Calibrated Blasts have not offered that much damage. Like, not at all. How did someone go 5-0 with this deck? You should put some. You can't play Spikefield Hazard because then you'll Calibrated Blast into 1 damage, which would be, pretty not ideal. Now Blast Zone's in. Besage you out. Gemstone Caverns out. I guess some removal in. Run it like that. The person to 5-0 is just luckier than me. That's probably true. JP the Pirate for the 9th month. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, we got a Calibrated Blast. Not that that means anything. As we have learned, Calibrated Blast is not a guaranteed win. I think the idea is it'll be a guaranteed win, but it is definitely not. I feel like Fortnite is the thing caused MTG plus Epic Game. Wait, I feel like Fortnite is the thing because MTGA plus Epic Games is a thing. I don't know how much it adds to the game as an IP, but maybe we would get some cool 2D art for Fortnite, which I would love. Okay, so because of the relationship between Wizards and Epic Games, you think that might be part of it? I guess that makes sense. We don't play this. We can kill the Ragavan. And then we can start blasting and hope that our blasts are a little bit better. I mean, we cast Calibrated Blast twice last game and did not win. I think that's the idea. You got to Calibrated Blast twice, but it has flashback. So because of flashback, you should be able to cast it twice as long as you get to 5 mana. Like 3 mana, 5 mana. The problem we've had is just the fizzling, like and not dealing enough damage. Basically, that's been the problem we're having. Well, Mishra's Factory, go. We've had so much evidence that suggests the artifact-centered sets are incredibly powerful, and it's possible another iteration of Urza isn't ridiculous. Oh boy, that's a lot of relics. I mean, do you think that Brothers War will be an artifact set? I mean, I guess Urza and Mishra are pretty artifacty. So I guess it probably will be. Maybe Wizards has learned. Maybe Wizards has learned how to make a not broken artifact set by now. Yeah, we're gonna have to blast zone away the relics because we really need to cast the Calibrated Blast twice to have a shot. Opponent sacks a relic, draws a card, untaps. Has Wizards? I think Wizards occasionally learns things. That's a weird choice. Magus of the Moon. Well, alright. Blast on away the graveyard hate. Alright, Calibrated Blast. If you betray us again, I swear. If we hit another Throes of Chaos or Calibrated Blast, I'm going to cry. I mean, I guess there's always risk because you can always Calibrated Blast into more Calibrated Blasts. Well, Calibrated Blast. Into. Emrakul. Alright, Emrakul's a big number. That's a big number. Hit ya. We need one more land. Our deck has 30 lands. If we hit another... Whoa! No! Relic 3 off the top! Oh, dear. I feel like Artifact is a type of deck that's difficult to design in a way that is balanced. That's definitely true. Being colorless makes it much trickier. Yeah, well, I mean, Rocco's 10 more mana. Well, you're a go. Oh, jeez, the blowouts of blowouts. Yeah, colored artifacts does help. Yeah, we played around 2 relics, but third one's gonna get us by the looks. Opponent. Bone Crusher Giant. We pass the turn. The downside of this deck is it does not have a way to win other than Calibrated Blast, really. What do you think about Lord of the Realms being legal in Modern and Historic? I mean, Historic, I don't think it really matters because every weird thing is legal in Historic, so that doesn't really bother me. Being legal in Modern, that is probably my least favorite thing of today's announcement, honestly. Like, I think that's a pretty bad thing. I think it's just, to me, it just seems like Wizards being greedy. Cycle of Triome. Another Scion past the turn. Should you have blasted on end step once you had 5 mana? Blast is a sorcery. Oh, it's an instant. Yeah, I guess we probably should have. I guess I just wasn't thinking that our opponent was not expecting our opponent to have a third relic either way. But yeah, we probably should have. We'll do one more, and then we're gonna take the Chancellors out of there. Yeah. I mean, you know the cards are going to be busted. You can't take someone else's iconic IP and then give them a bunch of Grizzly Bears. So you know that they're going to really push. They got to, right? Can they? Is there any way they can't push them? It seems like they have to push all the Lord of the Rings stuff. And all the, like, that's the thing I worry about with a lot of the other stuff, too. Like, I feel like they have to greatly push them. So I feel like Modern, look at Modern Horizons 2. Well, D&D is their IP. if they want to, I mean, with like Fortnite and Lord of the Rings, they are going out and giving another company money so they can use their IP to make Magic cards. And I'm sure that whoever owns IP is going to have a say in those cards. Like, I can't imagine that they would let Wizards print Gandalf as a, scornful egotist or some other really bad card. Like, I don't think it's possible. I don't think the other IP would go for that. Or maybe they don't care. Maybe they're just like, Magic. Who cares about Magic? Sure, like, no one's going to see it anyway. So what do we care what you do? Just give us that money. Do you think the Walking Dead stuff was super pushed? I mean, it was pushed enough to be playable. And that was not legal in Modern. It was pushed enough to be playable in Legacy. And it's much harder to be playable in Legacy than Modern. So, I think it was fairly pushed. MTG is in a kid's game. Fortnite is a kid's game. I don't see why people are shocked. Yeah, I mean, oh my god, so many relics. About it. Passing. So many we cannot catch a break. I feel like whenever we play a deck that's luck based, we just get absolutely wrecked by it. So if Wizards can make Fortnite Secret Lair drops, they can make anything. Like, literally, you pick a IP and they can make a lair drop of it. What would you like to see? Like, if they're doing Street Fighter, they're doing, like, those are not Magic connected at all. Like, Fortnite and Street Fighter, those are very far away from, okay, we should be able to win this. Very far away from the traditional Magic universe. So all bets are off. And then those jokes about, like, Rick and Morty, you name it. The BoJack Horseman Secret Lair drop, like, that could be a thing. Like, the art, I like some of the arts of the new Secret Lair drops. I really like the old Planeswalkers. Those are probably my favorite. Calibrated Blast, what do we hit? Emrakul. Opponent to 2. Untap. Land. I don't think there's a way for Calibrated Blast to mess this up. No matter how much it wants to. I do not believe there's a 1 in our deck. We hit a something. We did hit the Throes of Chaos, but it was enough. Okay, we won a game. We won a game. Getting a Rick's Edges Legends would be dope. I mean, that's probably going to happen. The only reason that would not happen is if whoever owns it, I don't know, Cartoon Network or whatever, if they just say no. But if Wizards had the opportunity, they would certainly do that. Do you think there's any truth to the idea that having all these different IPs in the game waters down the game itself? Like, is there any fear in the back of your mind? And I will admit there's a little bit in my mind. Just because I know Hasbro, and I know what Hasbro likes to do. Like, how does Hasbro primarily make its money? It makes its money on merchandising. Like, that is Hasbro's bread and butter, is they make a property or buy a property, and then the way they profit off of it is by licensing it out, by making toys of it, by merchandising it, by making Millennial Monopoly, and every ridiculous thing you could think of to squeeze a buck out of people. It does make me a little nervous, not because it's Fortnite, or not because it's Lord of the Rings, or not because of, Street Fighter, any of that stuff, but just seeing the trend in that direction and knowing Hasbro's tendency to try to make money that way, that part does make me a little bit concerned. It honestly does make me a little bit nervous that we might be heading in that direction where Hasbro just doesn't care about the game Magic. That's my concern. My concern is Hasbro's not going to care about the game of Magic, and all they're going to care about is the IP of Magic as a vehicle for them to make money, essentially, to license it out, to print other products and onto their game engine, etc., etc. Hey, what's up, Sai? Welcome back to the Fishbowl. Thank you for your subscription. Big super for you. Thank you. I don't think Magic players, especially those who are buying layers, would be interested in Fortnite cards. I mean, some people probably will. Psychologist, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super for you. Thank you. So I think it's already true to the extent that Wizards is selling Funko Pops and all that kind of stuff. But now it's kind of like coming into the game itself. Like, my justification in my mind was always, okay, like, even though I might not like everything Wizards chooses to do or Hasbro chooses to do with the game, when it comes down to it, our values are kind of aligned. Like, I want the game to do well, and Wizards Hasbro wants to be able to sell all these, like, ancillary products and merchandise. And for them to be able to do that, they need the game to be popular, which means the game needs to do well. So even though we might not like everything each other does, when it comes down to it, our goals are like kind of aligned because Hasbro profits by making Magic a really good game, and I'm happy when Magic is a really good game. But now I'm starting to wonder a little bit in the back of my mind if, like, maybe Hasbro just doesn't care. Like, I kind of feel like if Magic the game could die and they could stop having to have the expense of printing Magic cards and they could just sell products with Jace on them, or bring in other IPs and put them on Magic cards, and they didn't have to commission Marrow to design things and whatnot, that would probably make Hasbro super happy, right? Because then it's less cost and they could still do it. So arena maintenance is extended by 3 hours. I'm a little nervous about this update. I don't know. That was one of the reasons I was like, we're definitely not playing arena today, because I would not be surprised if this one takes a while. The fact that they had to push it back 2 weeks, I don't know. I'm imagining that something with Jumpstart Historic Horizons is kind of breaking arena at the moment. With them being non-unique cards, I kind of view as having custom altered cards. Like, I don't have to care if my opponent has their Stoneforge Mystic altered to look like a Darth Vader. Is it their cards? Thoughts? Yeah, that's basically my feeling about Secret Lair drops. a lot of them don't interest me personally. Like, I could care less about a Fortnite layer drop, but if they want to do it and it's going to make other people happy, as long as it's not, as long as it's not unique cards, I'm mostly okay with it. Well, Emrakul hit ya. Losing this land is a bad deal, though. Losing this land means we're going to need multiple turns to get to 5 mana. We could draw another Blast. Opponent plays an Expedition map. Passes. Well, crack this. Get a Triome. Scion. Mishra's Factory. Come on. Can we get in 5 points of damage past the turn? We have, so frustrating that I can't just have EU in its own sphere. I will not play different IPs in Modern. That is my line in the sand. Yeah, that does concern me a little bit. Just because I really like Modern. And I'm worried that, I'm worried that if they're printing all these products, that something's going to break Modern because Wizards are just overworked and trying to do too much. And they even kind of said, like, with the Lord of the Rings set, it's not designed for Modern. They're just making it legal in Modern. So that makes me a little bit nervous because it's not like they're, I don't know. They've talked a lot in the past about not really testing for Modern. And, like, Hogak was like, oh, this is a casual commander card. And then it broke the format. So the idea of Wizards just making a ton of products and not really testing Modern. Wow, is this card number 2? Wormcoil. Well, we better draw the Blast this turn. Blinkmoth Infusion. This deck has some bad top decks. All right, pass the turn. Well, there's still hope. There's still the slightest bit of hope. I've noticed that for the last couple of years, Secret Lair drops, they haven't been giving out codes for Moto Arena. What do you think about that? Yeah, I don't know what changed. Definitely disappointed. Like, it was nice as a bonus to be able to get the cards on Moto Arena. I don't know why they made that change, honestly. Well, all right. Come on, Calibrated Blast. Do not fail us. Most of our things are hit. We can't hit a Calibrated Blast. We can't hit the Throw of Chaos. We hit... What do we hit? Oh my god. All right. We're taking Chancellors out of this deck. The Chancellors are so bad. They gotta go. They gotta go. Oh, they're unbelievably bad in this deck. The Chancellors, I think we'd be like 3-0 if we just didn't have stupid Chancellor in our deck. These Chancellors just lose his games like crazy. We draw a Worm. Well, I mean, I guess we can... opponent's going to go to 16, so yeah. All right. Well, we'll finish out this match against Tron, and then we're taking Chancellors out of the deck, because Chancellor is amazingly bad. It's so bad. Is it honestly a big issue? If it becomes a problem, they'll just ban it with problematic cards. I mean, I bought a Twin right before it was banned, so I know the pain, but it wouldn't be the end of the world. I mean, Loris is still running around. I also wonder if there's going to be a higher standard of bannings when it comes to other IPs. Like, I don't know. I guess I don't know how much the other companies are involved in this. Like, how much are the other companies involved? How much say do they have? What deal does Wizards have with them? Like, can they just, you know, immediately ban Gandalf when it breaks the format? Or is that gonna, I don't know, piss off anger the estate of whoever and be an issue? I really don't know. It's all a new thing that we just don't know. All right, hit you down to 17. And, I mean, ideally, things don't break Modern anyway. Like, things breaking the format is not fun. Especially with Wizards not being very good at banning things quickly. That's something we've talked about a lot with Wizards. Like, if you're going to print broken things, at least ban them quickly. Ooh, 2 Calibrated Blasts is sweet. And they just haven't really got to the point of doing that yet. It still takes 6 months, 3 months, some very long amount of time for them to actually ban cards. So that's the downside, is they print busted Gandalf because they didn't test for Modern, and they had to make it good to make someone happy. And then, sure, they'll ban it eventually, but Modern is unplayable for 6 months because, you know, they gotta look through the data and try to figure it out. Opponent cracking expedition map. I mean, we're casting Calibrated Blast, right? I feel like the Calibrated Blasts are better than... Wow, can they get something that matters here? I feel like the Calibrated Blast damage is better than the 2 damage. Force the Wall! Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big tip for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. About it. Thinking. Well, if 2 Calibrated Blasts don't win the game, then... If we hit Chancellor, I swear. I swear to God, Chancellor. I swear to God. Hey, what's up, Big Cragazar? How are you? Good to see you. Good to have you back, Ponent. All right, gets Graveyard Hate. Well, spin it to win it. We got 2 Calibrated Blasts out of the way. There's not that many true whiffs, except for the Chancellors. Get a Mountain. Calibrated Blast. Spin number 1. Into Plinkmoth Infusion, okay. That is acceptable. Opponent, down to 3. It's really hard to mess this one up now. We untap 1, 2, 3. Calibrated Blast. Emerald, that's where it looks great. We hit a 14 and a 15, 29 damage, turn 4, game over, Calibrated Blast, taking down Tron. All right, so it's possible to win. It is possible for the deck to win. I used to play a TCG called Force of Will. It was really fun, but they started spending a bunch of crossovers and kind of ruined the game. I mofo Wizards will not do the same, but I'm a little concerned. So I don't really, personally, I don't think crossovers... the idea of having crossovers, I don't think ruins the game, in my opinion. Like, I'm hopeful that the cost of crossovers, which is angering some long-time in-franchise players, will be outweighed by the presumable benefit, which is hopefully bringing new players into the game. So I'm actually kind of like optimistic that in general, crossovers could be a positive. My concern comes from, I don't really think Wizards has much self-control. Like, my concern is that, like, it's hard to explain. It's not about crossovers. It's not about anything Wizards doing. It's that when it comes down to it, I really just think that all Kasparov cares about is the money. And it's like... It's like that Futurama with the 80s guy where he says, oh, what was the quote? Friendship for me means for $2 I'll beat you with a baseball bat or beat you with a pool cue until your eyes bleed or something like that. I feel like that's when it comes down to it, that's how I feel about Hasbro. Like, all I care about is the money, and the part that makes me scared is I truly feel like if it was more profitable for Hasbro in some way to absolutely kill Magic, they would do it in a second. I don't feel like there's any real commitment to the community or to the game. It's making a lot of money, so Hasbro loves us right now. But what happens when they're not making all that money? Are they still going to love us? Are they still going to support the game? So right now, Hasbro looks at Magic like the golden goose. Why would they want to kill the cash cow? Well, I mean, I think right now they can keep milking it, but sooner or later the milk is going to run dry, and then what does Hasbro do? The only place I would want crossovers would be the kitchen table or commander with my friends. Yeah, I was kind of excited about that with Lord of the Rings, which I'm not a big Lord of the Rings fan, but it just being a commander thing, I thought that could be kind of cool. But it makes me a little bit less excited knowing it's going to be modern legal. You think you'll ever make it out here to Seattle? I'm sure I'll make it to Seattle at some point. I have no idea when, but I would be surprised if I never did. I'm trying to figure out why the Murder Burger. I'm trying to figure out why Fortnite is in specific is such a huge deal to people. I know it's true based on the reaction I've seen that a lot of people had just like a massively, hey, what's up, Evil Mart? I know people have like such a massively negative reaction to it, but why? Is it just like it's a kid thing, and I don't like I don't like it because the kids like an old man yelling at the clouds kind of thing. You associate Fortnite with 7-year-olds? Is that really the main demographic of Fortnite? I associate Fortnite with like ninja and like teenagers. Like I associate it with a crowd that I think is in general younger than the Magic crowd in general. But I don't know. Is it really a game that's mostly played by like elementary school kids? Well, Mountain Go. Personally, I don't like that Epic has become the Fortnite company and abandoned its others IPs. Okay. Yeah, I don't really know much about that aspect of it. Middle school is probably most players. Does it really skew that young? Huh. I didn't realize that. Opponent. Land. Well, Blood Crypt. Tapped. Pass the... definitely not attacking with Mishra's Factory against this deck. Everyone is talking about the recent addition of crossovers to Black Border, but I'm pretty sure everyone forgot the original crossover from Zoro the Avatar, The Last Airbender, in Nameless Race. Yeah. I think that was a pre-crossover. The Magic card might have came out first. Oh. Alright, opponent is also trying to spin it to win it, crabbing their way into something big. Well, Mishra's Factory. Go. Pass the turn. Opponent. Adepts. Cracks a clue. Desperately. Yeah, Reyna is updating at the moment. I think last I heard that Wizard said 3 more hours, so... check again when the stream wraps up, and maybe by the time we finish streaming, it'll be back. All right. No Chancellors, no Chancellors, no Chancellors, no Chancellors. Throws of Chaos. Cascade. Calibrated Blast. Hit a... Blake Bolted Fusion. Yes! Okay. Okay. We're starting to see how this deck could win. It actually does pour out a lot of damage. It really kind of does. I have a Jumpstart Pack Guide bookmarked, ready for the vet. Ooh, yeah. It's almost time. 2 more days, and we can start jumpstarting. Also, yeah, there was some confusion about this. Jumpstart doesn't release today. Even when Arena comes back up, still no Jumpstart until Thursday. It wasn't 100% clear in Wizard's article. It was written in a way that was somewhat confusing, but definitely not today. All right, so opponent's trying to put Emrakul into play. I wonder... like, how much do you think 12 damage matters? Like, this is 11 damage, and it's an actual spell that we might cast in some situations. Is Emrakul the Promised End better than Scion of Draco? Well, Scion we can actually cast. That is the one big thing in our deck that we do occasionally actually cast. Yeah, we probably want, I guess, Besageuse. Besageuse in, Blast Zone out. Radiant Fountain out. Yeah, try it like that. Yeah, it used to be different, but now the mana value of the split cards is its combined mana value. Well, alright. Sure. We can reveal the Chancellor. We can put Gemstone Caverns into play. To exile the Chancellor. Combo. Look at those layers and layers of synergy. 3 damage and a card to pitch to Gemstone Caverns. We broke it. So what are you expecting from Brothers War? Like, what would a set built around Mishra and Urza, like, what would that look like? What are you expecting in that set? Has Chancellor actually gotten wins? Maybe I'm just remembering all the times when it kills us. Have there been times where the Chancellor damage has actually been essential? Artifacts and vehicles, so it's going to be a broken artifact set, probably. Urza Sunglasses got some sweet art. Unfortunately, it's probably in the reserve list. Opponent. Bloodstained Mire. And passes. I mean, we're not that far away. Opponent's at 16. They got to fetch. Pass the turn. Opponent. All right, here we go. Here we go. Crack it. Come on. Show us that Emrakul. Show us that Emrakul. Blast. Into a 15, please. We hit a Calibrated Blast. Oh, Cyanide Rocco. Okay, opponent's down to 3. Yes. Not bad, not bad. Ooh, Flipwalker Urza would be sweet. They mentioned 3 color groups for the gangster set. Whatever the name of the gangster set was. Streets of New Capna. We casted Calibrated Blast, we had a Cyanide Rocco. And it revealed Cyan and hit our opponent for 12. So now in theory, we play another one and win? Actually, we should just attack, right? Yeah, we should just attack. Mishra's Factory? The sneaky 2-2? Oh, we got the GGs! And the kids might be eating. They might actually be eating. Yeah, Mishra's Factory gets around the possible counters. Wow, we started off rough, but we're up to 2-2. We're blasting them. We're definitely blasting them. Stuck is ridiculous. It is very much like Zombie Hunt, I think. I feel like Streets of New Capna will have the return of Extor. Extor is pretty on flavor for a gangster set. Best Blueback Mill Commander after Phoenix. Ooh. Miko. Oh, what is the Demir Mill Vampire? Miko something? Eh? Sadzak doesn't look bad. Oh, maybe it's not even a legend. Michael Vashk? Okay, there we go. Maybe Micro Vashk. When it deals combat damage to a player, the player reveals cards from the top of their library until they reveal 4 lands and puts everything in the graveyard. What other are there any other good options, chat? What other good blue-black mill commanders would there be? Oh, yeah. Rejected. Una's a good one. Curdle. And that doesn't seem very good. Garuda kind of mills yourself. Yeah, I guess there's not actually a ton of... There's not a ton of blue-black mill commanders that actually mill themselves. Phoenix is probably the best, though. Sorcery speed counterspell that reads, until your next turn, the first spell each opponent plays is countered. Is it too good? So counterspell, like, literally costing 2 mana, like counterspell? I don't think that'd be... Would that be too good? I tend to think it would be okay. Yeah, alright. Mulligan, mulligan. Oh, mulligan. Oh, God. Mulligan. Well, okay. That was a lot of mulliganing. Alright. Go, Scion of Draco. Land. Go. I have this Griefblade list. I need another card. What would you add? Ooh, let me see, Greedy. I would add a... maybe a Batterskull. Batterskull seems like it could be good. Probably Batterskull or land. Is 22 enough? I could see going up one more land. Or maybe one more Malakari Birth. That kind of splits the difference. Alright, so if we take into the Triome, I mean, we're just all in on the Scion. Arid Mesa, crack it. Steam Vents. Turn to Scion and hope that somehow that gets there. Boom. 4/4 for 2, your go opponent. They mentioned Paper Jumpstart in next year Q4, so that is also, so is that also coming to Arena? Like, I mean, they just marketed in paper alternative to JSHH, but that's literally over a year from now. Unsure. They weren't, the only thing they specifically mentioned Arena was the Lord of the Rings set is coming to Arena. So they didn't really say anything about the next Jumpstart. I would guess that it would be coming to Arena, because there was Jumpstart last year, it went on Arena. They just did the Historic Horizons one that's on Arena. Well, maybe 2 Dracos will do something. So I would be surprised if it didn't come to Arena. I feel like putting cards on Arena is a really good way for Wizards to make money. Like, isn't it just kind of free money? Because you got to develop the cards. You got to get the artwork. You got to do all that stuff anyway to make them in paper. So it seems like just putting them onto Arena is pretty smart and an easy way to make more money off of it. They didn't really say much about how they were going to release the Lord of the Rings set, other than it's a full set. Booster products, I would assume collector's boosters, commander decks, just like a standard set, basically, except it's not legal in standard. So I'm assuming it's... Oh no. Is this the evoking? I mean, opponents at 14, which does mean a Calibrated Blast, could maybe get us there. Opponent, gonna kill a Scion. Oh, they do have Ephemerate. Oh, that's not great. The Lord of the Rings set makes me so mad. I love Lord of the Rings, but being in Modern could ruin the format for me. Well, hopefully... I'm concerned about it being legal in Modern, too. But hopefully, it doesn't end up being a big deal. Like, hopefully, they're just not that good. Maybe it's mostly Commander-focused. You know, and it doesn't really see much play, but it technically exists. Yeah, I mean, it is hard to collect Jumpstart, but Wizards, I think it's also incredibly... I think part of the reason it's so hard to collect Jumpstart is because the way it's released is so profitable for Wizards. Like, it works out very well for them, so it's not surprising that they keep doing it. Brad Nelson and Tom Anderson are having an argument organized play right now. Oh, what are they arguing about organized play? Where can I see the announcement? Ooh, well, there's a stream that Wizards did on Twitch a little bit ago, but there's a full article up as well that covers everything, going from standard sets returning to Kamigawa, Gangster Ob Nixilis set, Dominaria, Brothers War, Unsets, another Commander Legends. How many products is this? I didn't actually count it up. Is it just like ridiculous product overload? What is the actual number of products? I'm kind of curious. All right, so here, let me see. What is the count? So in 2022, what we know about now, Commander Collection Black. Actually, that might come this year. Let's skip that one. Commander Legends, Double Masters, Unset, Jumpstart, Lord of the Rings set. I think Lord of the Rings is 2023, so skip that one for now. Kamigawa, Streets of New Capenna, Dominaria United, Brothers War. So that's 8 big products. And then, like, Secret Lair Drop, Street Fighter, Commander decks coming with the Lord of the Rings set, Warhammer 40k, Commander decks. Okay. So that's, what, like a big product, a little bit less than a big product a month? Something like that? That's a lot. That's a lot. Pioneer decks are coming out in, like, October. Those are coming soon. We have 1 turn to draw Calibrated Blast, I think. Opponent gets Kahira. And plays it. Pioneer Challenger decks, aka buying modern staples. Oh, that's actually lethal, isn't it? No, it puts us to 1. All right. Come on. Come on, Calibrated Blast. Sign it, Rocco. All right. Hey, Seth, now that we're going back to Kamigawa, now that we're going back to Kamigawa, Glimpse and Jitte too underpowered. I mean, I don't think Glimpse or Jitte are going to be reprinted. Those are not too underpowered. those are pretty busted. All right, we're going to bring in removal and go down these Chancellors. We're blasting them. We're trying our best. A SCG Commander writer wrote about a huge amount of new products being released and how to avoid new product burnout without getting overwhelmed. I feel like Commander has it the worst with the product fatigue because I feel like you got to care about everything, or you can care about everything. I guess the good news is it's casual, so you don't need to. Like, technically, you can build a Commander deck, and you're not updated for 5 years, and you can go sit down and play a game of Commander, and you'll do fine. So that's the good news. The bad news is there's Commander stuff in every set. Unlike Modern, which some sets literally aren't even legal in Modern, or Standard. Some sets aren't legal in Standard. Basically everything is legal in Commander, and Wizards like puts cards specifically for Commander in every set. What about them printing a new version of Jitte with a more tech theme? Also, do you think energy might pop up in Kamigawa? Ooh. I would be surprised. I feel like players associate energy so much with Kaladesh that I'd be surprised if they put it in Kamigawa. Could they? I mean, they could. I could see the like cyberpunk theme working well with it, but I would lean towards no. I think we will see references to old cards. Jitte could be one of them. There could be a new take on it. I would expect there would be some equipment, or maybe there's gotta be. Like, it seems like there's still gonna be ninjas, so there's gotta be weapons to go with them. I don't know what they look like in cyberpunk world, but energy, I don't think I really want to return. Oh, that's super bad for us. Super bad. Teferi means we can't cascade with throws. It's kind of like the natural hoser for our deck. About it. I mean, do you even want energy to return? What would you like to see in Kamigawa? Is there anything that you would actually actively like to see? Well, crack this. Get a Triome. Crack this. Get a Triome. Scion. Go. Splice on Arcane. So they mentioned on the stream all new mechanics, but then apparently on the second stream they said there still could be returning mechanics. A little bit confusing. I would be shocked if Splice on Arcane came back. Splice on Arcane is, I feel like, a pretty disliked mechanic. Ninjas have gotta happen. Hopefully with ninjutsu. I mean, but I think there's almost certainly going to be ninjas. Opponent going to break our Scion. Well, come on, Calibrated Blast. Moonfolk. Moonfolk returning seems likely. This Teferi, we had a game plan set around this Throes of Chaos, but Teferi just answers it. Samurais. I feel like Samurais were pretty bad. Bushido. Bushido's kind of another meme mechanic. I feel like Bushido is a million Boros mechanics. I feel like every other Boros mechanic is something similar to Bushido. Like, Bushido's not bad, but it seems so samey to me. It's not really innovative anymore. I mean, there's some interesting creature types, too. If we go back to actual Kamigawa, Kamigawa had, like, foxes? That's something that is not normally supported. Kamigawa was a very unique world. Rats, foxes, Splice on Arcade. The other thing is they got one set to do this. They have one set. And I feel like one of the downsides of doing all these one set blocks is it's just there's not enough room to have everything in there. Like, things are going to get, oh my god, that's Calibrated Blast. Things are going to get left out almost by default just because there's not enough space. Well, Blast. Reveal. Rags to riches. Hit ya. Down to 6. Past the turn. There's hope. There's hope. There's hope in Blastville. Yeah, you can't cascade with the Teferi out, unfortunately. About it. No graveyard hate? They could have Endurance in their deck. About it. Another Risen Reef. If this Calibrated Blast isn't good enough. Triggers. Drawing cards. And takes up to Fairy. About it. Ephemerit's Risen Reef draws some cards. I did enjoy the announcements today. What's up, Nate? How are you? Yeah, I'm excited. I'm definitely excited about most of the standard stuff. About it hits us. Some of this, the side stuff, like the secret layers, I can take or leave, but yeah, the standard sets look spectacular. Well, all right. Calibrated Blast. Uncounterably this time. Tap it all. Be good. Be good. Something bigger than 6 mana. Blinkmouth Infusion. Go face. Okay. There's still hope for the kids. There's still hope for the kids getting a stack. Awesome, dude. 5 years. Welcome back to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super TV. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Calibrated Blast still can do it. We can't Throes of Chaos, but we can still just actually cast Calibrated Blast like we did there. So yeah, Kamigawa, like spirits, Bushido, samurai, equipment, ninjas. Hidasugo second right. There's a lot of dragons. The dragon spirits could be a thing. So I think one of the challenges of returning in one set blocks is like, can you make everyone happy? I feel like when you have, 250-ish cards to work with, can you get every reference in there? We're going to see. It's going to be interesting to see how they try to pull it off. Because I feel like this is not a world they're going to return to over and over again. I feel like with Zendikar and with Ravnica and with Innistrad, Wizards like, oh, we're going to these sets all the time. Every few years, we're going to go back. So let's just make the set and we'll do the best with it. I feel like this might be a little bit like, almost like the D&D set, where it kind of seemed like they poured in a lot of the references, because who knows when they're going to get another chance to make a D&D set. I kind of feel like Kamigawa and Neon Dynasty might be the same way, where it's like, we got to get everything we can into this set, because I don't know when we're going to get to do another Kamigawa. Ooh, Zubera. Oh, I hope Zubera returned. We need more Zubera. As long as we get a cycle of Zubera, then it'll be a success in my book. I like Dominaria. I feel like we should return to Dominaria more often. And I feel like our last return to Dominaria was... Ooh, alright, that's a blast. I feel like our last return to Dominaria was really good. So I'm on board with going back to Dominaria pretty often. And then I'm sure that the Brothers War is setting us up for Phyrexia the following year, which should also be interesting. I think that they will focus the synergy with the previous sets, Spirits tying with Innistrad, Dragons for D&D, Legends Matter tying with Kaldheim. Yeah, I think that would probably make sense. Sensei Divining Top, the problem is, it's not really legal anywhere. There's no way Wizards would put it in a standard set, I don't think, because it's just too hated. It takes people too long to play. So Bloodbraid, the problem is, then we'll flip into it with Calibrated Blast. I feel like we need to play more lands. As awkward as that is, I feel like that's the best solution, is to play more land. Oh, top on Arena. Oh, and it wouldn't auto pass people's turn, because you'd always be able to flip it. Oh my goodness, that would be so painful. They can't put it on Arena just because of that. That would be so not fun. That would be so incredibly brutal. Well, get the land past the turn. Opponent's at 18. Oh my god, another blast. Another one. Well, land. Gain some life. Opponent's tapped out. I think it's blast time. Show us something big. Blast. Opponent. Whoa! Alright. Force of negation. From the Risen Reef. Not good for us. About it. Untaps. Well, we got rid of a Teferi. That's something. We can try again next turn. An F6 on Arena would be nice. I would use it. What do you think the theme that ties Innistrad, Kamigawa, and the Noir set together like MDFC was this year? I mean, does there have to be one? I'm almost not sure if there will be one. I feel like Innistrad and Kamigawa can tie together because of the tribes. Maybe they do that with the gangster set too. Omnath draws a bunch of cards. Opponent hits us. Oh, I want to just cast this main phase. Opponent passes. Because our opponent can gain life. There's no way they got two of them. There's no way. No way. No, no, no. Calibrated Blast. Oh! Oh. Wow. Alright. Well, our opponent's elemental deck drew a lot of Teferis and Force Negations. No, Force Negation exiles. So we don't get... That's what makes it triply brutal. Oh, that's... Yeah. I mean, that's what we had to do, though, because of this Omnath. Yeah. Yeah. Well, jeez. Opponent has just drawn about $1,000 worth of cards in the last 3 turns. Yeah, there is a Beseiju. Fury. I mean, yeah, this one, now it's officially over, right? 15. This goes up to 22. Yeah. Hey, what's up, Achilles guy? How are you? Well, Calibrated Blast, for being amazingly janky, it won some games, even with horrible Chancellor of the Draws. My main opinion of this deck is Chancellor of the Draws has got to get out of there. It's just so bad. Like, if you're going to meme, you got to make sure that it wins. I'm almost like, Cyan, I guess, gets a pass because you can cast it, even though casting it isn't really that helpful. But I feel like we need to make it so Calibrated Blast wins a game as often as possible. And even with this, there's still a huge chance of it fizzling. Hey, let me see, Olith. So we gave it a good shot with Calibrated Blast. The idea of the deck is funny. It's incredibly janky. It's incredibly high variance. But I mean, I could see how someone could go 5-0. You get lucky and you hit the good matchups. I could see how you could go 5 wins in a row with it. Obviously, I don't think it's an actual competitive strategy. I think it's like Zombie Hunt. It reminds me so much of Zombie Hunt. And the fact that you're playing like a ton of lands, all of these cards are not actually real cards. So you're really not playing any real cards. I wonder if it's exactly like Zombie Hunt, really. I wonder if it's better than Zombie Hunt. I guess Throes of Chaos helps a little bit because you get more Calibrated Blast. Ooh, Delina, that looks super fun. I like it. Delina's definitely a cool commander. Trying to spin into some lords. That's a neat idea. All right, let's try the crab deck. Let's do a little bit of crabbing. I mean, the other option is to do some more Calibrated Blasting, but I feel like even if we take out Chancellor, we're kind of just doing the same thing. Isn't it just worse Tybalt's Trickery? I wouldn't say that. The problem with Tybalt's Trickery is Tybalt's Trickery, I think, is pretty bad, because you gotta mulligan into a specific card. I think that's the kind of the issue with Tybalt's Trickery. You need to mulligan into Tybalt's Trickery and something to counter. When with this, all you gotta do is find Calibrated Blast. The downside is, well, I guess the downside with both of them is, that you're not guaranteed to win the game, even when you do it. The Emperor of Kamigawa. Who could the Emperor of Kamigawa be? So let's try this deck. This is a crab, hard evidence, indomitable creativity deck. Basically, it's all about getting this Archon of Cruelty into play. As our only creature, 2 copies of Archon of Cruelty, we can unmark grave it and persist it into play. We can make crabs and dwarves and indomitable creativity into play, and then we're hoping that the Archon is going to get the job done. Someone on the podcast for Fishmail asked if Archon should have Delve. I don't think. I mean, Archon is already the centerpiece of modern decks without Delve. With Delve, I think it would be absolutely broken. Tamiyo. Is Tamiyo still alive? What is the flavor of Tamiyo? I'm not up on Tamiyo lore. I never know when a planeswalker I like has just been killed off for no apparent reason. Is Tamiyo alive? Like, where was Tamiyo last time we saw her, as far as the lore is concerned? Do you think we're getting VIP packs for Double Master 22, or do you think they're going for max green and going to give us actual collector booster boxes? That's a good question. I mean, I think the problem with collector booster boxes is the price would be so incredibly high. Like, could you imagine a booster box of VIP packs? You'd be talking a $1,000 plus booster box. I think that might just be too much. Armchair General, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. 21 month, that's insane. Big super cheer for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Tamiyo is basically running a monastery of sorts. All right, so Tamiyo's alive and well. Yeah, Arena's down for who knows when. Perhaps forever. Jumpstart Historic Horizons. We always talk about the things that are going to kill Magic. It might actually be Jumpstart Historic Horizons. Like, Arena just might not function after they try to put all those new cards on it. Definitely excited to try some Jumpstart. We'll see. Dreading how expensive it's going to be. That's the other thing about this year. Like, it's looking like it's going to be costly. How much pressure do you feel to buy every product? Like, is that something that's an issue for you? Do you feel a pressure to keep up on every product and to purchase every product? Or have you gotten to the point where you can just tune it out and you're just like, whatever, like, So, is it different than in the past? If you've been playing for a little bit, like 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years ago, did you feel like you would keep up with every product? I've been kind of wondering if, with Wizards, like, this product's not for you thing that they keep doing, if they're, like, training Magic players to not care about Magic. Like, if that's unintentionally, maybe subconsciously, they're training players like, oh, you shouldn't actually care. Like, you know what? Remember 10 years ago when every time we released a product, it was like a huge deal in your life, and you made it a priority, and it was like a really big thing? Well, remember that? Like, those days are gone. Now we would prefer if, 90% of the products re-released, you pretend like they don't exist. It seems a little counterintuitive, but it sometimes makes me wonder if that's kind of what's going on. All right, we'll keep. Physical cards are worth nothing but the limited experience. I mean, you can always resell them. Double Masters is legit just reprint, so I'm skipping that one. Yeah, I mean, the Master sets, the big upside is being able to get singles at a cheaper price. I think that's the main payoff of those sets. Oh, Inquisition, yeah. Take the Teferi. Pass the turn. So opponent's playing blue-white control, blink. Hey, Seth, long-time fan, first time making it to the chat. How's it been? Hey, what's up, Inkaraf? Good to have you. Doing pretty well. Talking all kinds of crazy Magic products. Well, let's Scalding Tarn crack it. I think it's crab time. Land and crab. Go. We got the creativity. Opponent cracks. How are you doing, by the way, Ankaraf? Fortnite Secret Lair is actually a stronger limited invite. Wait, is actually what I wanted Secret Lairs to be. Is it? So just like reskins of old cards with a different IP, basically. There are a lot of things I like about it. With the biggest one being it is all reprints, and I think that's a huge deal. What's worse, Fortnite Secret Lair or Tony Hawk selling skateboards painted with some of his own blood? Is Tony Hawk actually selling skateboards painted? How much? How much for one of those? Now I kind of want a Tony... I used to play some Tony Hawk. Now I kind of want a Tony Hawk plugged skateboard. Yeah, it's Dwarven Mine. Get a token. We know there's a Solitude, so I feel like we don't want to creativity yet. I think we want to keep waiting. Ryan K, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super cheer for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I mean, I'm actually okay with the Fortnite Secret Lair. I know a lot of people are not, but I think it's fine. Like, it's all reprints. And that was my criteria for them doing these crossover Secret Lairs. If you got to do them, make them all reprints. Don't put unique cards in them. And even if I don't especially care about the IP itself, I will be okay with it. And I feel like with that being, let's see. With that being my criteria for Secret Lairs, I feel like they kind of nailed it with that one, and I will accept that. I will accept it. So the problem we have is we only have 2 Archons. So if we Archon and get it Solituded, well, we have 2 Solitudes. If we Archon and get it Solituded, I'm not sure how we ever recover from that. I don't know if we can recover from that. So I feel like we got to get these Solitudes out of our opponent's hand somehow, and then go for the Archons. So we're going to try to bait it out by attacking and bolting. All right, so there's Solitude number 1. Opponent. Going to kill the crab. We will bolt the Solitude. All right, 1 Solitude gone. We lose the crab. That's fine. More crabs. Play the land. Pass the turn. I think that Street Fighter is actually going to be kind of fun. Got a 3-0 in pod right now. Just got there with Training Grounds. Oh, no. I'm nothing. What, oh, is this Elementals again? This might be the Elemental deck, and our opponent just had a really weird draw. Huh. Well, I think it's going to have to be Archon time, whether we want it to be or not. If we lose the 2 Archons, how do we win? Can we win? I mean, the mechanically unique cards is the drawback. That is the issue. If I had to choose between Fortnite and Street Fighter, as far as what I think is more beneficial for Magic, all right, opponents going off. I actually think that Fortnite is less harmful for Magic than Street Fighter. Although personally, I like Street Fighter characters more than Fortnite characters. I don't know, like, what do you even do with Fortnite? What do you even? Yeah, I guess we just go for it. Yeah. One, two, three, four, five. Get a couple Archons. Make you discard. Make you sack. Solitude is just a problem because it exiles. Like, we're fine with getting Archons and having them die because we have a lot of ways to reanimate them. But Solitudes in specific, get rid of them by exiling, which is a much bigger issue. All right, opponent discards. Discards the Solitude. Interesting. We'll go to combat, hit you with a Dwarf. Maybe we're good. Opponent takes it. Down to 11. Archon still on. Opponent. So this deck is also trying to reanimate. It's kind of a hybrid Indomitable Creativity / reanimation deck. So we can Indomitable Creativity Archons into play, or Persist / Unbury Rights them into play. Fortnite is an unset. Like, what characters are there in Fortnite? What do you even expect in a Fortnite Secret Lair card? Yeah, MTGA is going to be down for another couple hours, I think, last we heard. They're doing the big update for Jumpstart Historic Horizons, and it's taking a bit longer than they thought. Not hype for the unset, really. Location, yeah. I guess lands would kind of make sense. I don't know if a land seeker. Spicy. Old Stony, eh? Stonehorn Dignitary is actually a pretty good card. We'll get a. Yeah, get a Steam Vents untapped. Go digging. Prismari Command hand. Land Fatal Push. Kill Stonehorn Dignitary. Land. Can't attack. We need one more turn. Stonehorn's down. Pass the turn. I'm definitely super hyped for Brothers War 2. Brothers War and Dominaria are the standard sets I'm most hyped for. Also excited for Kamigawa. Like, I think Kamigawa will be sweet. And then the Gangster set is the one I'm most intrigued by. How do you dancing on a card, though? And it's all going to be reprint. So what do you reprint with a Fortnite skin? It's going to be interesting to see how they actually pull it off. How do we find out about downtime? The easiest way, I think, is just Wizard social media. They announced the actual downtime. They announced the actual downtime in an article a bit ago. And then I think they give the updates on social media mostly. Bringing the Thought Seizes. Maybe we bring in Void Winnower. Our opponent has a reasonable amount of evens. Go down to Unmarked Grave. Try it like that. Macabre Waltz. Yeah, that. I can see that. But they also got to be cards people want to buy. Like, I feel like you could get some random commons where you can make a good justification of the name and flavor, but no one's going to buy a $30 whatever Secret Lair drop for Macabre Waltz. Because Fortnite doesn't really have characters, right? Ooh, Corpse Dance would be a good... Oh, Corpse Dance is a really good one. If that's not in the reserve list, that's like a perfect one. Indomitable Creativity. Sarah Emissary is a cool card against elementals. Put on a creature and they can't touch it. Yeah, they're playing a bunch of Teferis, but maybe it's still worth it. We've played this deck twice in a row now, and they've drawn a ridiculous amount of Teferis. What a weird no-lander. All right. Oh dear. Okay. Keep. Put back a couple cards. Well, at least we got Expressive Iteration. Fortnite characters are more like mascots. They have a story, which is a really loose plot that's mostly meant to get people excited for new equipment in game. Okay. So not really story in the same way that Magic has story then, really. So Seth, I took my Rick Steadfast Leader to my LGS and got a ton of heat about playing him. After the game, I was leaving, and the loudest complainer stopped me and tried to buy Rick off me. Thoughts? Well, Holith, were they making a legitimate offer, or were they just trying to like scam you out of Rick? Because I think Rick is actually kind of expensive now. Yeah, take the Triome. Untap. So I think that people 1,000,000% should not give people a hard time about playing Secret Lair cards. That was something that came up when they first came up. Like, people were saying, oh, I just won't play with those people. If you sit down at my commander table and you got a Walking Dead card as your commander, I will not I will not play with you. I think that is a horrible attitude. I think that, like, the word toxic has come up a lot today. I think that is a toxic attitude. If we're going if we're going with the toxic thing. Del Dorbs, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. 32 months. It's been a while. Good to have you back. Big soup cheer for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'll crack this. So I think that is a horrible attitude. I think that I would never not play with someone because they're playing a Secret Lair card. I think that's ridiculous. Is it surprising that people gave you a hard time about it? After seeing the reaction to the Walking Dead cards? No, it's sad, but it's not surprising. Yeah, we did a league with the Calibrated Blast deck. It was pretty funny. It can be a little bit inconsistent, let's say. It gets people really good by surprise, but it also can fizzle out horribly to the slightest bit of interaction. Isn't removing yourself from something you don't support better than harassing and being a jerk to someone else playing it? I would say so. Hugo Van, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So yeah, I think that's the fact that they tried to buy the card from you afterwards that's even weirder. That's almost like a little hypocritical or something. Like they were gonna. I was trying to figure out if it was just gonna be like a finance thing, if they were trying to offer you a really low price and gonna just try to make money off of it or something. But if it was legitimate, oh jeez. Well, all right. Not looking good at the moment, expressive iteration. Take a... We're dying brutally. What do we want? Well, take a Thoughtseize. Prismari Command at the bottom. Bloodstained Mire top. Bloodstained Mire. Crack Bloodstained Mire. Get a Swamp. Thoughtseize you. Take the Teferi. But there's an Omnath. Oh, well, thank you, Hugafan. If Seth scoops to Tron because he doesn't want to play a deck against it, I can scoop to Rick. I think that... I think there's something different between... I mean, I guess in some sense, sure. But I think the difference is, if you're sitting down to a Commander game with people... I feel like you're gonna hurt that person's feelings. Like that's kind of the issue. If you're just playing online, people have no idea why you're scooping, and like I don't know, it feels different to me. Maybe that's wrong that it feels different because I see what you're saying, but I feel like for some reason to me it feels different. If someone comes up to my commander table and like, hey, can I play a game with you? And they show Rick Steadfast Leader as their commander, I'm like, no, screw you, get out of here. I don't play with Walking Dead cards. I'm a Magic the Gathering player. Walking Dead. Like, that's a little different than queuing up an arena and being like, oh, Rogues for the 5th time in a row. Scoop, on to the next game. I feel like people aren't complaining about Walking Dead cards just because it's been a while. Like, it's been a while since that came out. Give it time. Wait until the Fortnite Secret Lair is being heavily promoted by Wizards. And there will be some complaining. Alright. That went less well. Brought back was pretty good. Well, run it back. I had a guy sit down with Planeswalker Urza as a commander, and it was the most fun game of the night. Ooh. Like the unsat Planeswalker? It is true that we do love to complain. That is part of being a Magic player, I think, is is the love of complaining about Magic. Alright, Inquisition you. Not a bad turn one. What's going on over there? Double brought back, Path to Exile. Well, take the path. Pass the turn. Opponent untapped. And land and passes. Scalding Dart. Crack it. Steam Vets, untapped. Oh, we're gonna do the right thing. I should have got it tapped. We should have just left it play tapped. I was gonna just play the expressive iteration as a draw one, but that's not good value. There's not enough value that way. I remember a guy back in 2009 posted on MTG Salvation, if there are $100 bills in packs, people would complain about the way they were folded. That is very true. I think that is not even a joke, really. Now, Archon of Cruelty. Get a land. Pass the turn. Come on. Hold. No graveyard hate. Yeah, I mean, it's better than next turn. We just shouldn't have shocked ourselves for no real reason. Gotta play universes, in all universes beyond, an Armageddon stack. Just to go maximum trollage. Opponentism brought back ramping. Well, they had nothing going on when we thought seized them. Let's see if they found something before this Archon comes down. Opponent. There's no reason for anyone to be rude, but Magic's over its existence has created a certain promise and expectation to and from its players, and now wantonly destroying it by releasing cards. I may be in the minority, but my sense of fantasy and the appreciation of the art, the flavor, the lore in the game greatly diminishes. When I see people with Walking Dead cards on the opposite side of the table, for example, I wouldn't be outright rude to someone, but I wouldn't want to be against those cards either. So Notorious Granddad. Oh wow. Jeez. Okay. Opponent's 80 card deck draws a Sanctifier and Vec. So things are coming up opponent at the moment. Brutal, 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 brutal. We draw Lightning Bolt. Well, we will Expressive Iteration. So I would say, I think your feelings, I think that's a legitimate perspective. If your perspective is, you like Magic being a fantasy game, and having Walking Dead cards ruins part of that for you, I think that is a legit perspective, and I don't want to diminish that perspective. But what I would say is, your gripe is with Wizards, not with the person who's playing the card. Like, that's what it comes down with to me. If that's how you feel, I think that's, your perspective is not wrong, and I definitely respect that. But the person who comes to your LGS with a Walking Dead card, like, all they did was buy a card that Wizards made. There's tons of cards, some that I like, some that I don't like, that Wizards prints. They're all part of the game at this point. So I would say that the issue is with Wizards, and rather than punishing a player for playing a card that Wizards printed and they, legitimately acquired, that the feedback should go to Wizards that you don't want them printing those cards, rather than at the player. That's kind of my feeling, at least. Yeah, Arena's been under a long maintenance. Also, Fusion, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super cheer for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Jeez. Huh. Well, our opponents found some good cards since we thought season they had 2 brought backs in hand. Many of them. Disappointingly. Opponent. The problem is Wizards won't listen. That's true. Because they're making a ton of money, and that's what they care about most. But it's still, I don't think, is worth taking it on other players. Like, it feels like, well, like you're, like taking out on other players is kind of like you're just throwing your feelings in the wrong direction. The update was supposed to be done a while ago, but it keeps getting delayed according to Magic social media. Well, Bolt Omnath. Expressive iter. Oh my goodness, that's a. Okay. Unmarked grave in hand. We can make this work. That was supposed to be Prismari command, but this still works. Get a Bull Omnath. Not exactly how we were planning on doing that, but we will take it. Omnath is dead. We clicked the wrong is it card. Yeah, that counts as a pun. I think that works. That works. We got there. That's what we were trying to do the whole time. We knew we were going to hit that Bull off the expressive iteration. Alright, so that dies. Hit ya. Pass the turn. Hope that our opponent does not draw a bomb for about a turn. I altered my Hirobi Death Whale with Michael Majors from Halloween and would play the theme song when I cast it and kill everything. I wouldn't win much, but the event was fun for everyone mostly. To me, it's magic, but for others, maybe not. That actually sounds pretty hilarious to me. Oh my goodness. Eternal Witness. The bomb squad keeps flowing. Eladrami's Call. About it. Goes to combat. Attacks. I feel like the fan base getting mad at players for being traded. Yeah, it does. It is kind of similar to that. I mean, there's some cases where the players are responsible for being traded, where they force a trade, but a lot of times they don't really have any control over it, and it's all on ownership or management. I don't play a land. Unmarked grave. For Void Winnower. Persist Void Winnower. Opponent. Eladrami's Call. Get solid. Jeez. Oh, yeah, we're dead. Friendly reminder that kitchen table magic is the most played magic. I think that's probably true. Although, I wonder how that works as far as Wizards' profitability. I wonder how much of Wizards' money comes from people playing on the kitchen table and people who play more seriously than that. Opponent evokes a Solitude. Wow, what a ridiculous string of blowouts here. Opponent goes to combat, and I think we're pretty dead. Oh, this was a disappointing one, mostly because our opponent had nothing going on when we thought seized them, and they just drew straight gas. Opponent plays an Ether Vial. We draw a useless land. Sanctifier and Vex are a really strong card. Pass the turn. We have a Rick card and a Fortnite card. We should have a Seth card as well. Sign the petition. I'll ask Wizards. You think Modern is... Really? You find Modern boring to watch? Interesting. What makes Modern boring to watch for you? Let's see. I'll kill this. Loot. Jeez, the runs. Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, that's magic. Oh my goodness. How did our opponent's 2 brought backs all land hand turn into that? It always seems like we're against the same decks. I mean, that's true to some extent. Although, like, I feel like you see way more decks than other formats. Like, in Standard, a lot of times, you're against, what, a deck? Like, in Standard, we've had a lot of metas recently where there's, like, a playable deck. So I feel like Modern is incredibly more diverse than most other formats. At least that's been my experience. There's only so many times you can play Emergent Ultimatum versus Adventures before you give up on before you give up on everything. Do you think Ragavan will be banned? I think Ragavan or Urza Saga could definitely be banned eventually. The Jimothy! Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super tier for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. My big issue with Modern Horizons 2 Modern is really the cost. Like, that's been... Wow, is this Elementals again? Alright, well, I feel like this last few games is making it seem worse than it actually is. Because we have played the same deck like 3 or 4 times in a row now. This is a good example of when people ask, like, why do you sometimes record things in the 2-player queue? This is a pretty good example of it, because I don't think watching the same deck over and over again is very entertaining. But I also think that if you play a league and you just leave out matches, it's very awkward. So that makes the 2-player queue a good way to get around that. But yeah, we have played against Elementals many times in a row here. Do I think that Modern Horizons 2 is a good thing for the format? I think that it was overall, although I think that some of the cards in specific might have went a little too far. Like, I'm still concerned, like, Ragavan, Urza Saga, are those cards good for the format? Oh, they're playing Belcher. Okay. Well, this is a very different kind of Kahira deck. Huh. Wow, do we gotta take Blood Moon? I don't think we can beat Blood... Yeah, I guess we gotta take Blood Moon, because we can't beat it. Pass the turn. Well, come on, lands! Come on, lands! What do you think of the old school Planeswalker Secret Lair? One of the sweetest Secret Lairs they've ever made. I love those Planeswalkers. I love that they went the whole way with it, and actually did old wording on them, too. I think that's my favorite part of it, is the text is just so hilarious. Well, crack this. So yeah, I feel like some cards from Modern Horizons 2 are probably going to end up being a negative to the format. I don't know if we're to the point where they are now, but I am concerned about Ragavan, about Urza Saga. Yeah, the Planeswalkers are so good. They might as well be yeah, they're probably worse than textless, really. Like, they are not comprehensible whatsoever. Pyromancer's I have no idea what our opponent's doing. Opponent. In the upkeep step. Alright, ooh, that's a good draw. Well, Expressive Iteration. Go digging. Whiff pretty hard. Alright, well... Ouch. No lands. Ugh. Send the grab message. Go. I was going to go through all the cards I have for my modern decks in paper. I saw I was only missing 4 cards. My excitement was short-lived when I realized the cards I'm missing are playsets of Stoneforge. Yeah, that's one of my biggest criticisms of Modern Horizons 2. And I wrote that whole article about it a couple weeks ago, but just the cost. It's made the format so inaccessible. Where if you're not someone who already has a big Modern collection, I don't know how you get into Modern. Like, it is almost as intimidating as getting into Legacy. And almost as costly as getting into Legacy. So I feel like that is a big issue. And I don't know how that issue fixes itself. Maybe Double Masters will help next summer, but for the time being... Modern is absurdly expensive, and that's not a good thing for any of us. Well, Pioneer's been pretty dead. That's the issue with Pioneer. There's not really Legacy is ridiculously expensive. Modern's expensive. Pioneer is basically a dead format. I think Pioneer's maybe shown getting the precon decks. I think are a positive, but I think the thing that would really make Pioneer potentially be a thing would be making it to Magic Arena. Pioneer is making a comeback on Moto. Is it? I mean, it exists, but I don't know. My impression is like we can actually probably just look at it. How many people are playing Pioneer? So there's like 1,500 people in a Modern League. How many people are in a... Oh, I don't have enough event ticks? Oh, I guess I can't even check at the moment. All right, we will check that out later. I assume that it's a way lower number. Now, expressive iteration. This deck does a lot of nothing most of the time, doesn't it? Prismari command. Bottom. Land. Play it. I feel like this deck just kind of spins its wheels. Pass the turn. What's more expensive, Modern or Historic? If they were both played in the same place, it would be Modern. But because Historic is on the Arena economy and everything is insanely expensive on Arena. All right, so opponent probably has the win set up here. Reforge the Soul. Crack this. Pyromancer's Ascension's kind of cute in a Belcher deck. Oh, Bolja. Maybe this will give us a hand that does things. About it. Wheels. Well, this hand does more things than the last one. Are we dead? I honestly think that building decks from scratch in Historic will be expensive as of tomorrow. Oh yeah, I mean building decks in Historic is incredibly expensive. Modern is way more expensive. I can have an Historic deck for 0. Well, I mean, I guess it depends on. I guess it really depends on how you think of your time. So you kind of can have it for 0, but you're gonna have to spend a lot of time if you're someone who is just gonna play like 8 hours of Arena a day anyway. Then I guess maybe it's not as much of a cost, but in general, I think it's fair to consider your time as having some amount of value. All right, opponent apparently wheeled into the win. Ritual. I'm worried that I'm going to spend all my time and money to build a Modern deck only for it to be bad. Yeah, that's another tough one with how fast the format changes recently. In the past, you could buy a deck and it would be expensive, but you would expect it to last for a long time. Now that's not really the case with all the Modern Horizon sets and all that kind of stuff. It's not necessarily the case that if you buy a deck, it's going to be good for a long period of time. Interesting, Cordius. So wait, playing 4 wins a day, you feel like you can play all the Historic decks you want? Interesting. That's been very different than my experience. My experience is I play a lot of Arena and I spend hundreds of dollars each set, and I still can't play all the decks that I want to. Like, I still am needing to spend hundreds of more dollars to build the next deck because it's so hard to get a wild card. Like, that's what it comes down to for me. The sticking point is like you can't. There's no way to complete a deck basically other than just spending hundreds of dollars to open packs. Where it's like, all right, I got this deck. I need a playset of Mythic X, There's no like, okay, go get Mythic X like there is in every other way of Magic. It's like buy a whole bunch of packs from a set and hope that buying all those packs will somehow end with you getting the cards that you want. And you can guarantee that you'll get them. The question is how many hundreds of dollars do you have to spend to get them? Getting like a playset of a Mythic wild card is it's ridiculously expensive. Like I think you really are looking at like over $100 to get a playset of a Mythic wild card. So what do you do in that situation, Corneus? Like you have a deck you want to play. You need a playset of a Mythic to complete it. Like how do you complete the deck? Like what's the free to play way to do that? You just like play for a few more weeks and all right, this opponent has a Belcher kill. So you just like play for a few more weeks and eventually you just get them from playing. No, I'm not I'm not trying to be argumentative. I'm actually like curious how this works. Cuz maybe it's cuz I tend to play like somewhat sporadically. I play on streams, I play to record content, but then I don't do 4 wins every day because there's some days where I just only play Magic online. I don't play Arena at all. So I was thinking maybe if you do play X number of wins a day, like maybe the system's way smoother for you than it is for me because you play to that amount of wins. That doesn't seem ridiculous to me. That could be a possibility. All right, bring in the counters. Go down all the creature removal that's not doing anything. Go down the Archons. Go up the Void Winnowers. Discard. Lightning Bolt's probably not really necessary. All right, run it like that. If Wizards had a deal on Arena where you could spend $50 to exchange every card in your collection for a corresponding wildcard, would you do it? And is the same true for $100? Ooh. I mean, I guess having wildcards would be strictly better, right? So, probably. Because there are a lot of cards that I have that I don't really use. It is weird because their economy is not great to expend a lot of money, but rewards you better with the more time than money. It's actually weird that way. I know that if you're someone who just like drafts a ton, and then you can build, well, and you're also like a plus drafter, so you're winning, 55, 65, 70, like some relatively high percentage of the time. Like that is the easiest and cheapest way to build a collection. I'm an Arena free-to-play player. I've never spent a dime. I've gotten 4 daily wins. I've gotten 4 wins for daily gold every day since open beta. If you do this, I can get around 12k gold for each set. I use that to buy 120 boosters, and that nuts a ton of wild cards. How much can you do with that, Chrono? Because I think I probably just pretty much every set I probably buy 200 to 300 boosters, and that's usually about enough that I can play everything in standard that I want to play. But that still doesn't leave me with enough wild cards left over where 2 Belchers, Pact of Negation. But that doesn't leave me with enough wildcards left over where when something like Jumpstart comes out, I can have enough wildcards that I can just like play new historic decks. $90 packs will get you about 7 mythic wildcards. That's probably about, with a wildcard wheel, that's probably about right. So I'd make a mythic wildcard like $12, $13, somewhere in that range. I think that is probably more or less in the right range. Yeah, mythic wildcards are the choke point for me too. I have infinite. I feel like it switches if you're free to play compared to playing. What I've heard from a lot of free to play players is rares are the biggest problem. Like, rares is the pinch if you're a free to play player. And if you're someone who pays, then mythics are usually the pinch. But I'm definitely someone who mythics are the issue. I always have tons of commons and uncommons. I usually have a couple of hundred rare wild cards, and then I'm always like 0 mythic wild cards, 1 mythic wild card because I open the vault or whatever. So, and then yeah, so that's always the sticking point for me. Rares are the choke point because of lands. Yeah, I guess if you're free to play playing, getting all the lands is a ton of rares that you need to spend. And then mythics, I need a lot of them for the decks that I build, but if you're free to play playing, you can probably take in and avoid decks that are heavy mythics and just not spend that many mythic wildcards, or get the best mythics from a set that are like cross-format staples and ignore the rest of them. Do you think I'm good at Magic? Horsefather Deluxe. I've never seen you play. Yes, I will go with yes. in the complete dark. I've never seen you play, so I guess I don't really know, but I'm gonna go with yes on that one. That's my biggest disappointment with Arena. I know, like, the economy is very punishing for me. Some people like it. It doesn't work for what I try to do very well. But my biggest complaint is I really wish people could play fun decks. I really do. That's like the heartbreaking part of Arena, is it's so hard for free-to-play players and for paid players for the most part to switch decks and have a whole bunch of different decks that you can't spend your wild cards on fun decks. So when there's a fun deck that we playing against the odds, or like the Storm deck we played in Standard, that's a really cool deck. Would I recommend you take and buy that deck as your only Standard deck? No. You're not gonna rank up or kill it. Would I love for you to be able to play that deck because it's really fun and unique and you're able to win sometimes? I wish everyone could play it because it's really cool, and I wish everyone could experience it. And the Arena economy just makes it so hard because you got to prioritize so much. So you can't take in buy Zorn or whatever, like spending your precious wildcards on Zorn when you could be buying, a rare that actually is going to show up in multiple top-tier constructed decks or whatever. I feel like that is my biggest gripe, I think. I wish people could play more fun decks that they'd want to play. Fun is subjective. Personally, I only have fun playing controller mid-range. Well, and I hope that you can play all the different varieties of control and mid-range that you enjoy. I think no matter how you define fun, like, being able to more easily switch deck to deck and use different playstyles, I feel like no matter what you define as fun, that would be beneficial to you. I love what Magic is, that I can find a card I like and build a deck around it and spend a week fine-tuning it and try to pull it off. Most of them are rares, though, so I can't do that on Arena. Yeah, I've noticed that a lot with Budget Magic in specific, because kind of the heart of Budget Magic is, for the most part, building decks around underplayed rares. That's kind of traditionally the easiest way to build a budget deck. Find a rare that isn't heavily played, build a deck around it. And even that ends up being pretty expensive on Arena a lot of the time. Huh. Okay. A little worried about all those Belchers in our opponent's hand. Finding a way to get this Void Winnower down would be spectacular. Opponent untap land. Strikes it rich. Yeah, I think we gotta do this. Counter it. This Void Winnower probably wins us the game if we'd find a way to get it down. Opponent. Are we excited for the Warhammer 40k decks? I don't know much about Warhammer. Should I be excited about the Warhammer 40k decks? I'll pass the turn. Opponent taps. Oh, we can potentially loot away Void Winnower on Barrow Rights, play it, and Void Winnower should be insane. That shuts down the Vultures. I think that's our hope about it. thinking. Come on. Come on, let's get him. Like, what should I expect in Warhammer 40k? All I know is Space Marines. And that's all I know about it. I only knew Warhammer 40k because of Vince. That's the limit of my Warhammer knowledge is Vince does it now sometimes. Let's loot and make a treasure. Actually, should we loot and destroy the treasure? Let's do that. So we loot, we blow up the treasure. That ups the storm count. Discard, discard. Crack the land. We have a new donation for Rob. Get a Steam Vets, Adept and Wildfire, Flusterstorm. Stop the Ritual. Regarding the budget magic in EDH, I find that some archetypes just can't be built for $50. You can do Group Hug no problem, but good luck building Enchantress for under $300. Yeah, I think that's true. I mean, that's also true of building budget decks outside of Commander. I run into that too. There's some archetypes that are just not good at being made budget friendly. Clevis, thank you for the donation, Doug. Clevis, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. From your budget Enchantress deck a few years ago, I built my Enchantress deck. Ooh, let me see, Big Show. Yeah, Enchantress is a really fun archetype. Ooh, some Planeswalkers. That's sweet. I played against a modern deck the other day that was playing a Johnny Vengeance and playing 3-mana Chandra that can plus to add a loyalty counter to everything and was essentially just trying to blow up all your lands. Kind of an interesting idea. All right, so we will get back Void Winnower. Trust that Void Winnower is going to win us this game. Dwarven Mine. Not being able to cast Evens seems pretty good against Belcher, which needs to cast Belcher, which is 4 mana. Do you think that the current price of enemy fetch lands on Moto means MH2 is a net plus for Modern despite the downsides of Ragavan and Urza Saga? I like Modern Horizons too. I do, and I have really enjoyed the Modern format since it came out. I know we're getting to the point now where it's been a few months. People have had time to find the best cards. We've started to find some of the best builds, so things have started to slow down, and it's not the Wild West anymore. But I loved Modern Horizons original. I love Modern Horizons too. So for me, the answer is a clear yes. Like, I think it's totally worth it. Sure, is it possible that Ragavan or Urza Saga ends up needing to be banned eventually? That's a possibility. That could happen. But despite whatever flaws there are, I hope we keep getting Modern Horizons. And I always enjoy the format after they release, so. Ooh, I remember playing Karma against the Odds deck that was using Urborg and Karma in near-death experience, which was kind of hilarious. Oh, that was an old one. Yeah, Karma's sweet. Urza Saga's not as busted as a monkey. I think those two are like 1 and 2 for most busted. Ooh, Upheaval. Gotta play some more Upheavaling. Upheaval with Elves looks sweet. Akir. Umber Mana, Infinite Mana. Infinite Mana seems like the best way to Upheaval. Karma, yeah. The Karma edition to Enchantress is definitely spiky, I agree. I like it. Which sword do you think is better in Modern right now? Feast and Famine or Light and Shadow? Ooh. I would probably go Light and Shadow. I would say that with all the Izzet decks running around, Fire and Ice would probably be number 1. But then I would probably say Light and Shadow deals with a lot of removal. Good against the Stoneblade deck. So I feel like that's probably better than Feast and Famine. Green-Black doesn't seem to be like super popular. And Feast and Famine is just kind of slow and grindy. I guess Light and Shadow is a little bit slow and grindy too. But Feast and Famine's very slow and grindy in the sense that... Hex, Parasite, and Snaring Bridge. Interesting. Sure? What is going on? Opponent's on some spice. Would a Turgid All Is Dust Painter Servant deck work okay as an against odds combo? Wait, Turgid All Is Dust and Painter Servant. What does Painter Servant do? Painter Servant. Wait, can that make things colorless? Oh, I see. To get rid of colorless stuff. Yeah, I almost don't even know if you need Painter Servant. Oh, to get rid of lands. Okay. Yeah, that actually sounds kind of hilarious. Steam Vents. Untapped. Unmarked Grave. Archon. Go. Hey, thank you for the cheer, Bizia. What modern card do you think would be most busted if brought to standard today? Ooh. Oh, jeez. There's quite a few of them. I mean, Ragavan would be insane. Urza Saga would be unbeatable. It's probably... I think the card that would make people most mad is something like Blood Moon, something along those lines. Like, I feel like those would just be... Oh, people would be so upset. People would be very, very unhappy. Oh, get an Archon, make you discard. Get rid of your Hex Parasite. I don't know, what would your pick be, chat? What card would make standard players... What would break standard most from modern? Oh, boot it. Taking up the saga. Oh, we got a ton of news on new sets today. We're going to Kamigawa. We're going to a gangster. 1920s world. Like a mafia plane, I guess. Going back to Dominaria, Brothers War, new onset, so much new set news. No, 2022 is going to be insane. Definitely super hyped for next year. Kamigawa looks neat. I think I'm most hyped for Dominaria and the Brothers War set. Those are the ones that personally appeal to me the most. Although Kamigawa and the Gangster set also seem interesting. More Commander Legends is nice. Unsets, they're fun. I never am bothered by having more unsets in the world. Little worried about Lord of the Rings coming to Modern. Secret Lair drops. We'll see. Maybe they'll figure out a way to make sure there's not accessibility issues, but... 3-mana land destruction. Yeah, something like Pillage would probably annoy people quite a bit. Let's... Yeah, it's fine. Probably just going to have to kill Thopter Foundry. Opponent blocks. And pass the turn. The Saga goes away. So is it just like Saga Thopter Sword? Yeah, wasn't there a Gangster Hearthstone set? Opponent. Construct. Actually, I know about Lord of the Rings. There's a ring. There's a thing that carries the ring. And it takes many hours for the ring to be carried. I'm an expert. I have my doctorate in Lord of the Ringsology. All right, opponent bounces our Archon. That is a little annoying. Let's see. Persistent Hand. Unmarked Grave bottom. Arid Mesa. Play it. Pass. Discard the Archon. Again. Pass the turn. I think the Lotus Field, really all of those decks seem like they could be good buys if you're interested in getting into Pioneer. It's going to depend on the price. We haven't seen the price. So, assuming they are normal price or close to it, I feel like those sets are pretty close to like snap buys. We'll block. Bolt. Get rid of the construct. I mean, I guess we could have waited and just got rid of it with Archon, but I think this is fine. Expressive Iteration. Keep digging. Expressive Iteration is really strong. Ganny really dropped the ball with having access to those Eagles. Could have been one movie. That's kind of my opinion. It's not that Lord of the Rings is bad. It's just long. Too long. Let's take Bolt. Inquisition Bottom. Dwarven Mine. Play it. Persist Archon again. I mean, Archon is a powerful card. I mean, it's almost 100% that the Pioneer decks will be overpriced. Do you think so? What makes you think they're going to be overpriced? They priced the standard Challenger decks pretty fairly. If there's anything that gives me hope that the Pioneer ones will be fairly too, it'll be that. If we get a Lord of the Rings set, we also get a Solarmion. Solarmion? But I don't even know what that is. We are getting a Lord of the Rings set. That is officially announced. A full set, booster set, commander decks, the whole thing. Not until 2023, so we gotta wait a little bit. But it is definitely happening. I think standard Challenger decks are like 30, I want to say. Okay. You have successfully answered our Dwarf token. Opponent passes. We'll make another Dwarf token. Go attacking. Opponent's just trying to stay alive, but I don't think it's going to work. Opponent. Sacks. Chumps. Well, we'll bolt it. Alright, opponent finally succumbs. Do you expect Pioneer Challenger decks to be yearly like standard decks are? I don't know what's going on with the future Pioneer. I hope so. Yeah, the future Pioneer is definitely very much up in the air at this point. I'm hoping it makes a comeback, because last time I played it, it was a lot of fun. And I think it would be really awesome to have a format that isn't so expensive, that was still an Eternal format and still heavily supported. So that's kind of what I'm rooting for. But I don't know. I think it's going to depend on whether people pick the format back up. Does the format remain dead, or does it pick back up? Does it come to Arena? Do players start playing it now that Paper Magic is opening again? Those are, I think, the questions. Like, I think that's basically it. That's what it comes down to. I think Wizards wants to turn Modern into Legacy, and therefore Pioneer into Modern. Yeah, I mean, I think we're kind of heading slowly in that direction. Yeah, Pioneer, when Pioneer is good, I think it's a very fun paper format. It has went through some rough patches. I think it's in a pretty good spot right now. Most of the rough patches, I would say, are Wizards' responsibility on Wizards, more or less, for not managing the format very well. Like when we had all the combo decks running around, but... Well, I think it's crab time. Scalding Dart, Steve Vets, Adapt, and Hard Evidence. Go. I know I've pestered you a bunch with this deck already, but I need to ask you one more thing. Last time I promised, no problem, Greedy Kilo. My question is, what do you think of my sideboard? Opponent, sort of the big, sure. So, sideboard for some Sad Guy Ale. I like the deck name. So I like the direction the sideboard is going in. Void Mirror for the Cascade decks, Ashiok for Graveyard Hate, Kaya's Guile, good catch-all, Batter Skull, sure, could be in the main deck, but that's fine. I don't know about Break the Ice. Break the Ice is a card that I haven't been super impressed with. I don't know if there's... I wonder if there's a better option for that. Break the Ice and Fracture would be the cards that I would be not 100% on. But I think in general, Sanctifier is good. I think in general, it's in a pretty decent spot, I would say. Well, hard evidence. So many crabs. Bloodstained Mire. Go. If we can fire off a big creativity, that could do a thing. It seems that these Pioneer decks are all about how archetypes all the way back to when the format's released. I mean, how do those archetypes line up with the current meta? So Hidden Stirrings, that's basically the Lotus Field combo deck. Few changes, but the basic core is there. So that's still a real-ish deck. Mono Red Burn, I don't know about Burn. I mean, there are burn decks, but most of them are not mono red. They're mostly Boros. I'm guessing that Wizards was trying to go for some of the cheaper decks so they could make them as tier looking as possible. Spirits is kind of a tough one. Where's Spirits in here? I just saw them. The biggest issue with Spirits is Wizards build is straight blue-white. And you do get most of the good spirits, but Collected Company is pretty important to that deck. I'm not sure... I don't know. I don't know how good spirits are without Collected Company. That might be a bit of an issue to not have Collected Company. And then Mono Red Bird, I don't even know where Mono Red Burn is. Nowhere. But Burn is a legitimate archetype, so maybe you buy the Burn deck and upgrade it. I mean, I would say that probably Hidden Stirrings is the closest to being just a top-tier deck out of the box, though. But they all look reasonable enough. Explain to me the logic in which a Walking Dead card can survive a stomp from a Bone Crusher Giant. Oh, there's not much logic behind any of this, I don't think. If you're looking for logic, you're in the wrong place. Triome, Bonnet, Ensnaring Bridge. Well, Prismari Command can answer an Ensnaring Bridge. Pass the turn. No crab attacks. They run fast and dodge the stomp. Yeah, I mean, there's gotta be a way. So how many Fortnite Secret Layers are you guys buying? I'm probably buying none, although I talked about this earlier. I'm kind of okay with it existing. I really don't understand the freak out about that Secret Layer. I really don't get that one. To me, that seems like one of the least offensive Secret Layers. It's all reprints. It's just reskins. It's really not much different than alters, except Wizards is profiting off them and they're official. But I mean, I bet there's somewhere that someone has played. Ooh, Urza. I bet there is a place where someone has already essentially done this. Like, I bet there have been Fortnite cards on the table because of alterations, and Magic has survived so far. Okay. Oh, geez. Opponent's going off. Emery. Well. Prismari Command. 2 damage, destroying artifact. Maybe we want the bridge to live for now. Untap. More lands. I wish we could wait another turn, but I think we gotta do this. I think we gotta do it now, because our opponent can get graveyard hate. Alright, there's a Void Winnower. Pass the turn. No evens for you. Prismari Command's real strong. It is very close to Gulligan's Command. Podet, Urza Saga. Sure. Aracalypse with the gift sub to Otto. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. What you replace Fracture and Break the Ice with in the sideboard? Maybe an Eldrazi Titan with the recent popularity amount. I could see playing a one of Eldrazi Titan to fight against the mill decks. Maybe, I don't know what the budget's like. I've been liking things like Ratchet Bomb or Engineered Explosives. They're good against the one-drop decks, and they're good against Urza Saga, being able to sweep up all the tokens, so those would be things I would consider. Urza spins into a land, plays it. Aracalypse with a gift sub to Bamatumbo. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super cheer for you. Thank you, thank you. This isn't good. This Ether Spellbomb's an issue. Another creativity. Well, Arid Mesa. Go. Hey, what's up, Adubbo? Good to see ya. For me, the Fortnite thing rubs me the wrong way, as it is a blatant cash grab. Well, what isn't a blatant cash grab these days? I mean, I don't think that criticism is 100% unfair, but I feel like you could point that finger in a lot of directions. Lord of the Rings is better because it actually fits MTG aesthetically. It shares a ton of creature types. Fortnite is just not like MTG, so they don't match at all. What about Street Fighter? I mean, that's got to be more towards Fortnite, right? As far as meshing with MTG. Opponent. Spins Urza. Engineered Explosives. That's actually kind of good. They can blow up all of our tokens, which is awkward. I guess it also blows up their token. Okay, bounces Void Winnower. And yeah, but they have the answer to Void Winnower with this Ether Spellbomb, thanks to Urza Saga. About it. This does mean we can't creativity. Well, sack a clue, draw a card. This ended up being a grindy long game. Arid Mesa. Get a Blood Crypt tapped. Play a land. Tapped. Pass the turn. Street Fighter is also bad. It is also the second secret lair with a mechanically neat card, so it'll sell a ton like The Walking Dead. I mean, mechanically unique secret lairs those are just a horrible idea, period. Like, I don't care if they're magic, I don't care if they're non-magic, like, the very idea of printing unique cards in secret lairs, like, that's just a horrible, horrible plan. I don't know why Wizards keeps doing that. Other than, I guess it's pretty powerful. I'm surprised we haven't seen Power Rangers yet, either. Like, it's gotta be coming. Podet. Another saga. I mean, we just can't do anything while this explosives is out. Kill the Goblin Engineer. Untap. More lands. Play hard evidence. Get a clue. Zag the clue. Try to find any semblance of a real magic card. More lands. Well, I guess we're getting close to just hard casting Void Winnower. If our opponent doesn't go infinite, we're just going to hard cast a Void Winnower. Is Richard excited for Street Fighter SL since he loves the movie so much? Oh, I mean, he has to be, I would assume. Opponent. Alright. Opponent gets back their combo piece. They go infinite. Sure. I just really want a Wild West set. Well, Wizards polled people about doing a Wild West set, so I would be surprised if we didn't get one eventually. I don't know. I mean, we're getting Outer Space Unset. We're getting 1920s Gangster World. I guess a Wild West set is not much of a stretch after that. What do you think of the departure of the Russo brothers in the MTG, in the Netflix animated MTG series over the adaptation of the IP? Yeah, that was confusing. So a couple days ago, we got all these like news articles about the Russo brothers leaving, and then today during the WotC stream, they were like, "Yeah, it's going awesome. The show's coming out, next year. It's written. We got our voice actors." So that was a little bit confusing. The best I can figure is it must be that the Russo brothers left a long time ago and the news is just now getting out or something. Because the way Wizards talked about it during their stream today was overwhelmingly positive. Like, as far as the future of the TV show and it being on time and coming out soon. Now, we're just going to keep hitting our opponent with discard, I guess. Inquisition. Take your stuff. Pass the turn. Can we find a way to close it out? Yeah, I mean, WotC streams can come across a little bit cheesy at some point. There are some points where they're a little cheesy. Alright, opponent finds another Thopter Foundry. Well, play the land, pass the turn. Alright, scary spot. Opponent, I think, can start making Thopters here with War of Invention. Yeah, we might be in trouble. That was not what we want our opponent to top deck, that's for sure. Steam Vents untap, cycle a Triome. Can we draw something real? More Lightning Bolts? No. More lands? Also no. Expressive Iteration. Well, iteration in hand, creativity bottom, thought sees exile, thought sees you. But our opponent can whir and get the combo. Oh, no, they can't. They don't have the blue mana. Wow, saved by the Academy Ruins. That's actually huge. That is huge. Hey, what's up, awesome dude? How are you? Well, take it. Play the land, pass the turn. Oh, we gotta dodge the sword. No sword, please. Opponent adapts. How are things, awesome dude? Yeah, we still got the whir. It took a minute, but we got there. Yeah, it's been a long downtime, but I think they're trying to get everything set for Jumpstart. Oh, classes start Monday? Oh, well, have a good school year, awesome dude. Steam Vents tapped. Expressive Iteration. I'll take this. Bottom. exile. Okay. We need to... This deck feels like it doesn't have that much action. I wonder if they would be worth playing more finishers in this deck. I feel like 2 is. It seems like we have a hard time finding them at some point. Yeah, I mean, Jumpstart's definitely been breaking things because they already delayed it by... They already delayed it by 2 weeks, so I think it's pretty clear that Jumpstart is breaking things. Wow, did they just say 3 more hours of downtime? Arena's never coming back, is it? It's over. It's over and done. Jumpstart Historic Horizons is the end. Goblin Engineer for our opponent. So this is going to find our opponent their combo. Gets a Sword of the Mig. Gets in for 1. Well, we will bolt the Engineer. Crack the Bloodstained Mire. Could really use a threat. A threat would be spectacular. Make a token. Should be up in like an hour. Oh, that'd be good. Well, I guess we Shattering Spree. Replicate. Get rid of the Thopter Foundry. Murktide in the deck would probably be fine. Yeah, I feel like 2 Archons is just not enough to consistently do things quickly. And we ran into a couple of issues with Archons just not feeling like them getting exiled and us not just having a way to close out the game, essentially. So I feel like just more threats could be helpful to this deck. About it. Trying to figure out what to do about a Shattering Spree. Last game we could have made a treasure and double popped for Archon and Vadi Boy. Was that why our opponent had engineered explosives on the battlefield? So opponent gets back the Sword of the Mig. There was a time, I think it was last game, where we had multiple tokens, but our opponent just had the answer sitting on the battlefield, so we couldn't really do anything with it, because if we ever did, our opponent just cracks the explosives and we lose everything and our creativity. But maybe that was a different time. Opponent. Oh, Tron Lands and Sander would not be fun. That would be brutal. This is where, if we could resolve it, an Indomitable Creativity would be kind of insane. Opponent exiles a card. Goes to combat. Attacks. Well, bolt the token. We're down to 8. That's not a lot of life. Alright, down to 7. Come on, creativity, please. Opponent passes. More lands. Crack the clue. Persist. Well, Go attacking. But now we're dead, because our opponent can just get back the Thopter Foundry and go infinite again. Oh, the fizzle. Well, I gotta say this deck was kind of meh. Calibrated Blast was sweet. It is ridiculously inconsistent, but if you like just spinning dice, flipping coins, Calibrated Blast is kind of a fun play style. I still think Chancellor of the Dross has got to go. That thing was a bane of our existence, but it was a really fun play style. Opponent hits us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Can't actually cast it. We draw an Archon, so now it's not... Yeah, this deck definitely needs... Yeah. This deck definitely needs some fixing, I would say. So what do we learn about our decks today? Deck-wise, this deck, I want more threats. I want more threats. I don't know about the mashing up Reanimator with Indomitable Creativity. It's a cool idea, and it does give you some explosive turns, but we had a lot of games where it just kind of felt like we were just spinning our wheels, and we couldn't actually get a threat going. So we're like, oh, persisting and unmarked graving and making all these tokens, but we never actually were able to progress that into winning. So I think the solution to that might be playing more actual threats in the deck. Play a playset of Archons, or add the Void Winnower to the main deck, or Murktide Regent. Calibrated Blast. No Chancellor of the Draws. No Chancellor of the Draws, but the playstyle is hilarious. It's basically like a new take on Zombie Hunt. Mulligan, mulligan, mulligan. Cross your fingers, flip some coins, pray really hard to the magic gods and hope for the best. More importantly, we also got to talk about all this new magic stuff. Ridiculous new magic stuff. 2022 is going to be insane. So many sweet sets coming up. I am super hyped. Innistrad, a week from Thursday, we go into preview season, so lots of amazing stuff on the horizon. How do you do with Calibrated Blast? We finished 2 and 3 in our league. Almost got the 3-2. Super close. Why don't we play Belcher? We've played Belcher a few times, so maybe it's time to do some more belching at some point. So, when you build Squadron Hawk Tribal, do you consider a Ketra's Monument? I feel like a Ketra's Monument is kind of... Modern is pretty fast right now. I feel like it's hard to take off a turn on turn 3 to play a Ketra's Monument. I feel like Monument can be powerful if it sits on the battlefield, but I'm afraid it's like just a little slow in the world of Ragavan. New Kamigawa, that is the winner set. Streets of New Capna, a gangster mafia family set, is set in a modern urban city, is the second set of the year. Going back to Domineering again for the third set. The Brothers War, Mishra, Urza, making a return. That is the last set of the year. New unset, new Commander Legends featuring D&D stuff. Double Masters, make your return. Jumpstart, make your return. Universes Beyond Warhammer. Universes Beyond Lord of the Rings. Fortnite Secret Lair Drops. Street Fighter Secret Lair Drops. So much happening in the Magic world. So, on that note, everyone, I think that brings us to the end of our stream for today. So, next stream is Thursday, assuming that Arena eventually someday actually comes back online. Hopefully we'll be doing some jump starting. So Jumpstart Historic Horizons on Thursday, I believe. In the so many announcements. If you want to read over the announcement thing, they went over everything today. Check out the article, read it over, watch the stream replay. We went in depth for like the first 20 minutes or half hour of the stream. We just talked about the announcements and didn't even play. So check that out on the replay YouTube. 100 card dredge list. Ooh, let me see, Greedy Kilo. I mean, yeah, it looks like there's enough cards to make a 100 card dredge list. That looks relatively reasonable. A little bit less consistent getting a dredger in the graveyard maybe, but other than that, that looks like a pretty good dredge list especially for being 100 cards. Yarian dredges, kind of a funny idea. So anyway, everyone, we will be back on Thursday with another one. Replay YouTube for all the old streams, normal YouTube, Against Odds, Heading to Modern tomorrow, tons of other stuff on there. One more reminder that our sponsor today is Card Kingdom, and if you need some magical cards, you can get them from CardKingdom.com. So thank you to Card Kingdom for supporting the show. Most importantly, thank you to all of you, each and every one of you. Thanks for hanging out, for having fun, for talking new magic stuff, for playing janky Modern. So Dark Zero, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super cheer for you. Thank you. So anyway, have an amazing evening. Have a great Wednesday. I love y'all. I'll see you Thursday. Until then, have a great night, and I will talk to you soon.